This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drug kick, and it's good!
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Welcome back to Walks Arena inside the Barnett Center, Aberdeen, South Dakota, the campus of Northern State University. I'm Brad DeVere alongside Steve Erickson. Welcome in to championship semifinal Friday night in South Dakota. One of the greatest spectacles of sport in all of South Dakota throughout the year. And again, I'm a big fan of state track meet because you get so many people and there's a lot of just energy, but it still can't match what we're going to see here tonight. Steve, we've done this 3 years together now, and again, this is an exciting night because there's 4 teams still with an opportunity to win a state title.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about that this is the most exciting night, and the crowd shows that. It's filling in real nice here in the Barnett Center, and it's going to be a wild one.
Let's take a look at what happened earlier today as Aberdeen Christians Knights, the number 4 seed, advancing to the Consolation Championship tomorrow afternoon. They beat Viborg Hurley, the 1 seed, 52-49. And then it was DeSmit, the number 3 seed, beating Sully Buttes. They went on a 21-4 run over, or finished on a 24 run, probably over the final 7 minutes or so to claim that 7-point victory. And then this brings up tonight's matchups. The first one we'll talk about here in a moment, Lyman and Castlewood. And then what could be a real track meet in Freeman and Wall if their defenses allow both offenses to do what they really want to do, because they want to get up and down, but both teams are athletic defense too, and that could stop things.
Yeah, I think you're really going to see 2 different basketball games tonight with this first one with Wall and Castlewood is kind of some more bruisers and not necessarily slowing it down, but a little less tempo than what you're going to see in the nightcap. But it should be 2 great basketball games with 4 very well-coached teams tonight going at it here in Aberdeen.
Yeah, I would say these 2 teams, especially Castlewood, they are going to take their opportunities to run when they get them. They're going to be very efficient. Not that Lyman won't, but that's just what Castlewood does. And that second one is just going to be a little more free and open. So we look forward to both of them. Let's take a look at what's going on and how these teams got here, their school profiles with Castlewood, the visitors on the scoreboard based on where they are in the bracket out of Hamlin County. Paul Rosh, the head coach, he'll be actually honored in our second game halftime tonight as well. 77 kids, the enrollment, royal, blue, and gold. The colors, and Minnesota Rouser is the school song. They got here with wins over James Valley Christian, Wessington Springs, and a 26-point win over Timber Lake in the Sodak 16. Go back to that region. It was a really good region in Region 2B this year with 4 or 5 teams that could have had an opportunity, and knocking off Wessington Springs, who was maybe a preseason pick to be in this game tonight, actually, in one of these consolation semis. They'll start this way. Camden Kessler, the 6'3 junior, play point guard. Brody Bass, a 6'5" senior. Tyson Manley, a 6'2 senior. Leonard Wertke, a 6'6 senior. And Will Aderhold, a 6'5" sophomore. And that starting lineup brought to you by First Dakota. Their opponent tonight, they pulled the upset yesterday. Their girls suffered that same fate a week ago, but they kind of got some revenge on the system, if you will, with the seeds, and as an 8 seed got to this game out of Presho, Lyman, and Lyman County. The Raiders, Cooper Garnos, the head coach, 63 students, red, black, and white, the school colors. Illinois Loyalty is the school song. They beat Mitchell Christian. They got by Corsica Stickney. They beat Leola Frederick by 13, and then that 5-point win over Viborg Hurley last night. So they will start this way. MJ Deem, a 5'11 junior point guard, kind of does it all for this team. The workhorse, 6'4 sophomore Cole Kiefer. Dawson Vollmer, he's athletic, he's a high flyer. He had a big alley-oop dunk last night. that we didn't see, but we heard it. It was pretty good. 6'4"
They
junior.
tell us it happened.
Yeah, they said that it happened. Chase Seaboy, a 6'4" junior, and Conway Collins actually had to change numbers. So if you're watching last night or you're from the Lyman area, he typically is number 2. He's wearing number 55 tonight, the 6'1" senior. As the fans continue to file in a little bit, we will go to our public address announcer here in just a moment and get ready for our national anthem and our starting lineups. We're going to toss it over to Kent Hansen at Wax Arena.
Good evening. The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to Wax Arena for the semifinal session of the State B Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Tonight's semifinal games will be conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the game and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please remain standing as we honor our nation and its flag with the singing of the national anthem. The proper etiquette is to stand at attention, facing the flag. Remove all headgear and place your right hand over your heart. Veterans and out-of-duty military personnel have the option of saluting. To sing tonight's national anthem will be Josiah Baum of Warner High School under the direction of Sophie Olsen. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Josiah. Our first semifinal this evening will feature the designated road team, the Castlewood Warriors, and the designated home team, the Lyman Raiders. Let's meet tonight's officials. First, our junior officials from Castlewood, Levi Reese. And from Lyman, Teelan Carson. Officials for tonight's semifinal are Jordan Opp, Jerry Beers, Lee Johnson, and the alternate official is Scott Whitlock. Let's meet tonight's starters. First, for the Warriors, at a guard, 6'3" junior, number 0, Camden Kessler. And for the Raiders, 6'1" senior, number 55, Conway Collins. At a forward for Castlewood, 6'5" senior, number 4, Brody Bass. And on the point for the Raiders, 5'11" junior, number 3, MJ Deeb. At a forward for Castlewood, 6'2" senior, number 5, Tyson Manley. In the middle for the Raiders, 6'4" sophomore, number 4, Cole Keeper. In the middle for Castlewood, 6'6" senior, number 15, Leonard Wernke. On the wing for the Raiders, 6'4" junior, number 10, Dawson Bowler. At a center for Castlewood, 6'5" sophomore, number 32, Will Adderhold. And for the Raiders, 6'4" junior, number 35, Jay Seymour. The Warriors are coached by Ryder Johnson and Jeff Sigging. The head coach of the Castlewood Warriors is Paul Roush. The Raiders are coached by Matt Booth, Cruz Gardas, and Stockton McClanahan. The head coach of the Lyman Raiders is Cooper Gardas. Today's lineups were brought to you by Channel Seed. Warriors fans, are you ready? Raiders fans, are you ready? Today's fan section brought to you by USD. Let's play ball!
Cole Keeper and Will Aderhold are ready to tip it up. Jordan Knott will toss it. And we're underway here in Watts Arena. Championship semifinal Friday night. And Castlewood will come out. Hand off to Kessler. They're going to try to fully deny him, it looks like, right off the bat here with
Face
Collins.
guarding with Conway Collins, the senior.
Kessler gets it on the baseline. Fire it out top, Manley. Manley down the lane, nope, lose a handle. Bass, way out high. And a foul early here in the first quarter.
See Lyman being super aggressive with their man-to-man. We saw them come out that opening round game against Vibrant Hurley, and a couple different things defensively that Coach Garnos threw out there, but straight man-to-man to start this one. Probably not the fouls you're wanting Dawson Vollmer to pick up either, or reach out 25 feet from the hoop.
Bass at the elbow. Got that new shot clock after the foul, obviously. So last touch by Lyman. Kiefer knocked it out of bounds. 36 seconds into this one, or 46 seconds into this one, and Lyman hasn't really had possession. They touched it, but they haven't had possession.
Castlewood doesn't even take a shot either.
No. 2-0 at the end of this one tonight. Kessler, floater baseline, no. Aderhold with the rebound, but has it stripped away underneath. MJ Deem against Manley. It's a tough guard for Tyson. Kiefer, and a reset.
Deem just puts a lot of pressure on anybody's defense, so a tough guard for no matter who you are. But
Deem will go left baseline. Kiefer to the lane. Deem with 8 on the shot clock, 3, no good. Rebound. Kessler comes away with it. Campbell push against Collins. Kessler so strong as a point guard. Left it short. Aderhold goes up to get it. Kick out. Bass thought about it. Pull up. 18. Got it. Brody Bass.
good start for Brody. He did that the other night. Came out in his first shot, and then he didn't really take another one till into the second half. But
he doesn't shoot enough, quite honestly. You and I talked about that. The kid's a good shooter.
Just kind of shows how unselfish of a player he is. He really tries to get others involved before he looks for his own, too.
Deem to the lane in traffic. Fires it across. Caught by Seaboy. Bring it out. 6 on the shot clock. Deem, right elbow, pull up, too strong. Rebound underneath. Wernke. Manley will push. There's Aderhold on the run. Back to Manley, right baseline. Manley with the left-hand dribble drive. Floater, no good. Rebound taken out of there by Dawson Vollmer. Vollmer spin and the reverse pivot.
See both teams just kind of antsy with.
And he landed. We're going to say he landed anyway. He thought he got rid of it. Here you'll see it. That's really close. Didn't want to kick his feet up. A little happy kick there to keep it, make sure he didn't land, but. Manley on the left wing.
Kind of what we expected, though. Both defenses kind of really setting the tone. And
we're going to go immediate timeout as the horn blows. We'll take a break. 2-0 Castlewood. 3 minutes and 5 seconds gone. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Inside Walks Arena, ready to go. Lee Johnson will trigger the inbound. Give it to Deem, and we are underway as Collins goes back to Deem. Lyman will control out of the media timeout.
both these teams average about 61, 62 points a game during the course of the season. And defensively, it's that side of the ball that's really setting the tone right now.
Kiefer versus Wernke stepped through, and they're going to call a foul, I think, on Aderhold, blocking the shot from behind as Josiah Vod checked in during that media break. Nope, they give it to Wernke. They'll say
Coach Rosh is asking for a travel.
Jerry just kind of smiled at him. On the board, Cole Kiefer makes it 2-1.
Trevor Everson will check in for Tyson Manley for the Warriors.
And those two guys pretty much back and forth for each other till later in the game when somebody else needs a break. That's kind of how that rotation works. Kiefer good on the second. We're tied at 2 apiece. We're halfway done with this state tournament, by the way. Just on the other half now, going the other direction with this game. Bass. A handoff. Kessler, it's touched. Kessler gets it back. Has to go to Everson with it. Everson now. Taken away by Deem. It'll be Deem at Bass. Deem will leave it under. Great defense by Bass. Just jumped it. They're going to call that on Kessler.
Yeah, Deem saw Bass coming on the corner of his eye the whole time, and looked like Brody was going to time it up and then just kind of let him go. And Deem expecting the contact, and none came.
Conway
there was
Collins
after.
After Conway Collins went down hard there, but foul is whistled on Cam Kessler. Collins way out high will give up now to Vod.
Castlewood
2-3 zone.
2-3, yep. Had a lot of success with that.
Here comes Dunk City. Will Aderhold.
A lot of success with that 2-3 in the second half yesterday. And you can see their length. That's what they do. They like to get out on those wings. And
here's the replay of that dunk. Aderhold with the flush. Had that whole standard moving. It might still be shaking. Foul was whistled, by the way, on Trevor Everson. Collins, corner now to Dean. Yeah, that's a big front line down there with Wernke and Aderhold and Bass. Travel.
Even your front when, I mean, Everson gives up a little bit of size, but Cam Kessler and Tyson Manley, when they're in the game, you got 2 6'3" kids at the top of that zone too. So it really allows Castlewood to be aggressive in it and try to jump some passing lanes as well.
And I don't, like Kessler, I don't know that he's straight out fast, but he's quick. On the football field as a quarterback, I mean, he shakes people so fast.
Yeah, he's going to beat you in those first 1, 2, 3 steps, not maybe over the long haul, but he's going to get by you and beat you, and then strong enough to keep you there.
Takeaway for Lyman, 4-2 again. This is one of the weeks you talked about this game being the opposite of what we expect to see later. Vaught, a long 3. Josiah Vaught off the bench, and a quick bucket for him. He's got 3, and it's 5-4 Lyman.
Yeah, he scored 10 the other day in that upset of Vibert Hurley, and came off the bench and hit a couple threes.
Offensive Wernke, his shoulder. Cam Kessler pleading Wernke's case for him. Second foul on Wernke, so he's got to come out. Now they get a little smaller. They'll go man-to-man out of it now when they bring Manley back in. The lob, and that's the play they ran to get the dunk the other night, last night, but unable to connect on that one. Manley off the dribble. Got it to go, and a foul. Tyson Manley. Bucket's good. Foul called on number 4. Cole Kiefer from behind. There it is.
It's good patience by Manley in the corner on that catch, too, and not just firing it up right away, but getting that defender in the air and then attacking baseline, playing off 2 feet.
We've seen that a lot in the tournament already, and we see it every year. And the reason is because these are the good teams. That's what you do. You make good decisions to get to this point. And that's some of the little things that during the season you see some teams, they don't do that, and that's what gets them beat. 7-5.
You heard, and I think it was both of these coaches yesterday, too, talked about quality possessions and value in the basketball and that kind of stuff. And that's a prime example of it.
Dean for 3, no good on the run out. Kessler one-on-one with Vaught. Left hand up and good. Just too strong. Even if Vaught was going to body him up, Cam's going to win that one-on-one battle a lot.
When you saw that over and over the other night, too, Cam had 30 in that opening round win. On a lot of what you just saw right there from him.
Back into the 2-3 now. 3 on the way, no good. Manley will come away with it and bring it back out, take his time. Bass to Kessler. Kessler going to be held on the sideline right in front of the Lyman bench. Foul will go on Josiah Vaught. His first personal. Third team foul on Lyman.
It's like Lyman into a little bit of a 2-3 now, it looks like maybe.
Yeah, they're going to try to settle down and slow it up a little bit too. Everson with the miss. Chased down by Deem. They'll split defenders, but get knocked to the ground. I don't know that it was that much contact. His feet tangled up. Kessler now. Crossover. Kessler to the lane. Kept it off the glass and in. 2 ways to beat a zone, right? You either gotta make shots or you attack the seams. And that's Castlewood so good at attacking the seams with Kessler. Even Manley can get to it. Takeaway by Kessler.
Just picking a really good time to attack it too when you had numbers. And
Bass tips it back inside. Kiefer against Aderhold. Blocked by Aderhold. taken out of there by Manley. 15 on the shot clock, or on the game clock, rather. And Bass will bring it up to Kessler. Come get it. 6 on the clock. Kessler to the lane. Leave it. Aderhold, no. Mishandle. 11-5, though. Castlewood with a late run. Lead by 6. We'll take a break. Back with more. Championship semifinal Friday nights on SDPB Sports.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
From Wax Arena in the Barnett Center in Aberdeen, Northern State University. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. 1 quarter of play gone, and Castlewood leads Lyman 11-5. We'll start quarter number 2, Lyman basketball. MJ Dean will bring the Raiders set. They'll start a little 1-4 action, get a triple screen along the kind of the picket fence in a different direction there, it looked like. Good move, and then out of there by Aderhold. So quick. Off his feet. I mean, just to get up that quick.
That's a great move. I thought Kiefer had it, too.
He didn't have to hit it very hard. Just get some fingers on it, swat it out of there.
6-point lead for Castlewood right now, and they ended the first quarter on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. So.
They're doing that with their big man on the bench, Wernke. He's in foul trouble. We had a couple quick ones. There's a foul on Cole Kiefer. That'll be his second personal. So 2 fouls on Kiefer, 2 fouls on Wernke. Both teams' big man in a little foul trouble. Now Seaboy will come back in. They'll drop back into that 2-3.
Like, Kiefer's a tough one for Lyman to have to go to the bench because they run a lot of stuff through him, and really an option on the offensive end for them.
Well, Lyman stays in the man. They look like they're setting up in a 2-3. And a foul on the dunk attempt by Aderhold. Vollmer, who can get up in his own right, was going to try to block that. Here it is. And a foul going to be called on Vollmer, of course, but he saved the place from going crazy.
Dawson's second, though.
Aderhold got it. Will wasn't overly offensive last night. Just the way the defenses were set up to kind of guard him. Kessler kind of had to take over, and I mean, he did, obviously. He had 30.
That's what he did, yeah.
Second one ready for Will. Got it. Just a sophomore, Will Aderhold.
Big guy that can knock down free throws. That bodes well for him, too.
I think when he discovers the weight room, I mean, he's already starting to fill out from what I saw him even this summer. Dean just about leaned into a travel again there. Collins swinging around. Vod. Ooh, they're going to say it wasn't a push to dribble it. 3 in and out.
Lyman just 1 of 10 from the field. And that 1 is a 3-pointer.
Manley loses the handle. It's picked up by Dean. Now they'll have numbers at the other end. Vod, turnaround jumper, no good. Seaboy can't come up with it. Garnos does, gets it to Dean. New shot clock. They'll slow it down. They're going to bring both Vollmer and Kiefer back with their 2 fouls apiece. Going to have to. It's already 13-5.
Coach Garnos over there yelling timeout. He was all the way to half court trying to get a timeout.
Well, and again, it's hard to get the, I mean, everybody's saying, they were calling it, but the rule reads you have to get their attention. They have to acknowledge the timeout, right? Like,
well, that's also where hopefully your players on the floor are hearing you a little bit too. They can call a timeout on the floor for yourself as well. So,
because it's weird, because if that same thing happens and Garnos is hollering at his point guard, the point guard hears him and turns and looks. So sometimes maybe it's like, hey, Dean, call timeout. And then the referee can maybe see it and help. But yeah, it's one of those things that on these bigger floors too, it makes a difference. Good crowd on hand. The ends have filled in a lot more than they were even 15, 20 minutes ago. Both sides filling up. If you're within driving distance, there's still some seats, so come on in. Get in the car and get here. 6:14 to play in the second quarter. Out of the short timeout. Lyman basketball. They'll get it to the corner. Vollmer. Now Garnos.
Vollmer and Kiefer both with 2, but Coach Garnos kind of knows you got to keep yourselves in the game too.
No, that is a shot clock violation. So Castlewood's defense has come to play tonight, and they have made it really tough. Thanks. That's a perfect spot for you to stand right now. Appreciate you. Just spot is happy. Beers. Push from behind. I'm gonna whistle that one on Will Aderhold. That'll be his first.
Looked like Will kind of maybe put a hand on the shoulder, and he didn't really need to because he got the length over him too. It's just
13-5. Rough go offensively here so far for Lyman. And again, they've missed a few open shots, but a lot of it's been
1 of 5 from 3 and 0 of 7 from 2.
Now they switch it back to that 2-3. Does Castlewood, so changing it up. Dean will get one to go. Finally gets loose and is able to knock one down.
And that's the guy too. MJ Deem's the guy for Lyman that they'll look to maybe try to bust loose a little bit here, but it's kind of the one that gets them going.
3 on the way, Manley, no good. Rebound, Kiefer throws it out to Deem. Rough start this quarter offensively for Castlewood also. They haven't scored in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Kiefer back in, instant offense. The jumper for Kiefer. 13-9 now, little by little. Lyman climbing back in it.
Nice little stroke there from about 15 feet for Kiefer.
Everson kick it to Manley. Manley now guarded by Deem. Bass will go back up top to Everson. They take Kessler down into the post.
And still got Collins kind of face guarding Cam all over.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Kessler gets underneath. Well, we're gonna have 2 shots, and we will have the media timeout as well.
It's gonna be 3 on Vollmer. That's a big call for the Lyman Raiders.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take the media timeout. We are back in just a moment on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
38 weeks pregnant. Out of the media timeout, ready to go here. Inside walks Arena will come back to free throws. Will Aderhold will be at the free throw line. Will 2 for 2 in the quarter, 2 for 2 in the game, has 4 points. 4:26 to play. Aderhold, first one ready, and nothing to it.
Talked about a rough start for Castlewood this quarter. Yeah, 256 scoring drought that they just broke with that Aderhold free throw.
Yeah, just 4 free throws, no field goals yet in about halfway through here now this second quarter. This could be one of those 41-38 type games by the time it's all said and done. And both teams are going to have to pick it up offensively to get to that. Hold on the floor before the shot. Deem
kind of got pushed in the back, I think, on that cut a little bit.
Call it on number 4, Brody Bass. Bass got his right hand wrapped up. I don't know what happened there. He wasn't wearing that earlier, was he?
No, I think if he got cut or something, he was like he was trying to wipe blood off his hand earlier.
Okay. Deem into the trees. And has to flip it up and over Aderhold. Maybe partially touched, but regardless, can't finish. Looking for a held ball, and actually going to be a foul call on MJ Deem. Point guard will pick up his first. Everson back on the floor again. With Wernke in that foul trouble, he hasn't come back out. They're going to save him as long as they can. As long as you're in the lead,
well, yeah,
no reason.
Nah, I don't want to say they played better without him on the floor, but they've been able to get a lead and play fairly well without him.
Tough shot, Will Aderhold. He's been the offense this quarter. He's got all 6 of the Castlewood points in the quarter. 17-9. Now what it does, it kind of opens it up a little bit. I mean, he plays out facing the basket anyway, but it does kind of open things up. Just puts more guys that dribble, penetrate probably more so than anything. Josiah Vaught, that's off the back of the back, but was it blocked?
Yeah, I think Aderhold got a piece of that one.
Out of bounds off of Castlewood then.
Maybe he did. Rashi was acting like he didn't. Wondering what happened.
Poked out of bounds. Definitely touched that time by Cam Kessler. Five on the shot clock. Collins, long 3. Catches the rim. Rebound, Vaught missed it. Rebound, Bass. Manley looked to push, but Everson just turned his head. Manley will keep it. Go across to Aderhold, but on that drive and dish, foul is called first. So
get a couple free throws with the bonus, though.
Yeah, Deem will pick up his second now. So Deem, Kiefer, and Vollmer all with 3 for Lyman. Wernke with with 2, excuse me. Wernke just with 2 for Castlewood, the only one really in foul trouble there. Manley will miss the first free throw. 3 field goals between the 2 teams made in this quarter. 4 free throws by Castlewood. And it's 17-9. Taken away on the bounce pass inside. Everson, charge. That was going to be close. That would have been our next one. Come on, Jerry. Definitely a player control foul here. You'll see it coming right at you. Dean did a good job. Race back, get set, take the contact. That was a no-doubter. 2 on Everson now.
Great hustle play by Deem, and that's kind of what he does. Not just their leading scorer, but the guy that flies around making things happen on both ends.
Vaught, fadeaway in the lane, got it. Tough shot. Boy, that kid really elevates, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Josiah Vaught, a 6'3" junior.
Kind of a nice weapon to have off the bench. It's going to bring you a little punch offensively.
Yeah.
And 6'3", so a little bit of size too. And
believe it or not, there are teams and coaches that will bring a better scorer off the bench because there are just things that you can get out of it when you do sub, right? I mean, that happens a lot.
Yep. 3 fouls now on Cole Kiefer. It's big. So him and Vollmer, I think, both with 3.
No, Vollmer just got the 2, I think. Or do they have him listed for 3 in the stats? I had him for 2 in my book, but we'll check it. He did come out. I may have missed that one on him, that 3rd one.
Yeah, Vollmer 3 as well. So the 2 bigs for 2 starting bigs for Lyman, both with 3 fouls, which doesn't bode well when you got a team of bigs like Castlewood too.
Coach Garnos trying to decide who's coming in. You got to get over there to get in. He just kind of shrugs his shoulders like, well, who am I supposed to send now? Kessler, no. 17-11. Deem tries to wrap that in between Wernke and
maybe should have kicked it to the corner to Garnos on that one. But
interesting though, Castlewood holds Wernke for a long time throughout the first and then most of the second quarter, but then with less than 2 minutes left in the quarter, brings him back with those 2 fouls. They're going to sit in that 2-3 with him in the middle.
Might be more just about getting a guy a rest too, as opposed to
worrying about that. And sometimes you just got to play with foul trouble, right?
Yeah, they got to learn how to play through it at points. And with both of Lyman's bigs at 3 fouls apiece, it's maybe he's not as worried about it. You got Dean guarding him now.
And you definitely get the size advantage when you bring him back, right? Because their 2 bigs are sitting there. Dean will pick up his 3rd personal, right? If that's who they... Nope, called it on Garnos underneath instead. No, Dean was there trying to guard him. Wernke at the free throw line. First one, no good, too strong. Catch up with the leading coach again at halftime. Wernke got that one to go. Both of them were lasers, though. Line drives. Approaching 1 minute to play in the first half. 18-13 our score. Castlewood to push across the lane. Left short by Manley. A couple of baskets left out there by Castlewood. They've had a couple of opportunities. The lob off the backboard, didn't mean to, just threw it too hard. Basket slow it down a little.
Kind of had Vod open there too. If he would have a little softer, a little more air under it, but
just over 2 seconds difference, shot clock to game clock. 22 on the shot clock. Game clock now at 20. Castlewood going to try to hold for as long as possible. Losing the handle, Kessler. 2-1. Collins, no. We will catch up with Coach Rosh on the way out. I'll switch over to the Columbus.
18-13 lead for Castlewood going into the half. All being said, Lyman's got to feel pretty good about where the score's at with the foul trouble they're in and how they've shot it. Not in their favor, but
Coach Rosh joins us. Coach, thoughts on the first half? Low scoring. Defense is a premium right now.
Yeah, we got to get tougher on the offensive end. We're letting little bumps and, you know, they're missing shots that we should be finishing. got to get better at the free throw line. I'm not real happy how we played offensively. Defensively, doing a nice job. We're rebounding well, keeping them out of the paint, which was our goal.
Both teams have a little foul trouble with the bigs. How do you play around that?
You got to just work around it. You know, we've been in a million games like this. You just got to figure it out and try to keep guys as fresh and safe as you can. But hey, it's a semifinal game. They got to play too, so we got to play through it.
Appreciate the time. Good luck. You bet. That's Coach Paul Roche with Castlewood. Let's turn it over. Aberdeen Roncalli dance team. Give you a shot of that on our way out.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Welcome back to Aberdeen and Walks Arena on the campus of Northern State. Aberdeen Roncalli dance team on the floor right now.
In Walks Arena, the Aberdeen Roncalli dance team. We've got some awards to hand out. We'll turn it over to Ken Hansen, the public address announcer, and he'll handle those awards as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, may I have your attention, please? The South Dakota Sports Officials Advisory Council is proud to present its 25-year officiating award. This award is presented to recognize officials who have dedicated 25 years to the officiating profession. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and its member schools say thank you to all the sports officials across the state of South Dakota, especially those who've dedicated 25 years. Presenting this award is Christina Stage, Associate Director, Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Tonight we recognize two 25-year officiating award recipients. Our first recipient is Bo Beck. Bo has spent 25 years as an SDHSAA sports official, highlighted by 8 State B basketball tournaments, including the 2016 Girls Championship game. He's also officiated track and field, cross country, volleyball, and football. Ladies and gentlemen, Bo Beck. Our second recipient this evening is Josh Kemp. Josh has officiated South Dakota High School basketball since 2001, working 14 state tournaments and earning the 2024 NFHS Distinguished Active Official of the Year honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Kemp. Richard Dick Hansen and Dave Anderson, founders of the Hansen and Anderson basketball book, sparked a lifelong passion for South Dakota high school basketball after attending their first state tournament in 1965. Inspired by national publications, they created a comprehensive guide highlighting players, coaches, and teams across the state. Although Dick passed away in 2007 and Dave retired in 2021, their work remains a lasting legacy, and the Hansen and Anderson basketball book continues to celebrate South Dakota prep basketball. Accepting their placement in the Hall of Shrine is Richard Hansen's sister, Eloise Hortness, and his niece, Lori Lair. Presenting the award is Brad Moore.
Done with some awards, and we're going to toss it here to a break, and we'll be back and get ready for second half action of Castlewood and Lyman.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. AgTegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. AgTegra Cooperative, legacy-rich, future-focused for generations to come.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Peterson reps, real-life Seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps Seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Back inside Walks Arena, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Sorry, it happens to me all the time, so it doesn't bother me too much. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. You got some stats. Throw those at him as we kind of go through these highlights at the same time.
Yeah, neither team shooting it real well. Castlewood 6 of 15 from the field, 40%, just 18 points, 6 of 11 at the free throw line. You heard Coach Rosh talking about that. Not real pleased with how they were shooting and how they were playing on the offensive end. So Lyman 5 of 20 from the field for 25%, just 2 of 2 from the line, hence their 13 points. So I think a lot of that can be pointed to the defense that both teams are playing, although Lyman with some foul trouble as they come out here in the second half to try to play through.
Well, Lyman made a little bit of a run, got back a little close, and then now the one couple baskets late. And we're ready to roll here as Cam Kessler will inbound in front of us. 18-13, we're underway in quarter number 3. Thanks to Chad Olson earlier today, by the way, dropping off some snacks for us.
M&Ms are great. Thanks, Chad.
They smell good. I didn't get a chance to have one. Thanks. Turnover, we'll go the other way. It'll be Lyman basketball.
Mike and Ike's are for you.
I got 2 bags of hot tamales, Mike and Ike's. My dentist, I'm a dentist's dream right now is what I am. The big 2-3 zone going to come out for Castlewood here. Length on the bottom again as they put Bass on one corner and put Aderhold on the other. Warnke in the middle. Vod, no good. Vod gets the start in the second half. As the putback from Kiefer. Started for Seaboy. Vod got the start over Seaboy.
It's one of those where Coach Garnos, and we talked about it too, Vod kind of gives him that punch on the offensive end, and it's searching to try to get something going down there.
From behind the foul going to be called.
I think Dean got an elbow to the chops. He's way underneath by the.
And Conway Collins will pick up the foul, his first personal. Dean's going to come over and talk to Coach Garnos.
Yeah, I think his Cam was kind of pivoting out of there.
Yeah, top lip. He's kind of holding that top lip. Kessler, good on the first free throw. So he's finally made a free throw, 1 of 3. They're going to go check on him to see if he's all right, see if he's got blood. That's a good job of checking. Lee Johnson just making sure. Saw him go by and go over there. Dean just rinsed out his mouth with some water. Said, I'm good. We'll be fine. My collar's red on my shirt. It'll be okay. Now Dean will push it out. Never hurts on offense.
1 of 2 that trip to the line for the Warriors, and the struggles from there kind of continue yet.
Yeah, Aderhold the only one shooting well at the free throw line. Cam Kessler on the run out after the takeaway. Layup is up and good.
We talked about these teams. Neither one runs like a fast tempo, but they'll get out and push when Vod from deep.
And good decisions usually when they look to run. Like here, push it ahead, don't have anything, just pull it out, wait, reset. Kessler changes direction in the middle of it, up and good. He kind of did this in the second half last night, just decided time for, it was Cam time.
Well, he really knows right now too with Lyman with the foul trouble there in to just kind of put his head down and get to the rim.
Timeout going to be called. It'll be
Coach Garnos took it. Yep.
I think he called it. No, he did call a full, so he'll take the full timeout. 23-15. 6:06 to play. Have some awards to give away during the second halftime tonight as well. Quite a few, actually a lot more than we're just giving out there. We'll not have the dance team the second halftime tonight, but we'll give away the Larry Luchins Award, the John Wooden Award, the NFOA, that's the National Federation of Officials Association Award, and then Distinguished Service Awards, a couple of those for officials, and then also one more Hall of Shrine Award that will happen again at halftime here of our second championship semifinal tonight. Castlewood drops back in the 2-3. Lyman wants to talk about how to attack this 2-3. They took that timeout to figure things out, see what they come out of there with. High screen on the zone. Volmer, he's been quiet tonight. That foul trouble kept him on the bench for a little while, so we haven't heard much from Dawson. Deem, give it up to Vaughn. Taken away at the top by Manley. Fire it out to Kessler. Good catch by the quarterback. Off the glass and good, and the foul. Cam Kessler having a quarter. Here you'll see Kessler, the run out against Collins. Body control. Get the crowd fired up right in front of the student section.
Good finish from Cam there on that one. And tough call if you're Conway Collins too, because you.
What's the Minions guy that leads them? I forget his name. He's standing right in the middle of their section. I just noticed.
Mr. Grew.
Mr. Grew, yeah. Grew and all his Minions. That's a great dress up. Kessler with another missed free throw, though. That's not going to make Coach Rosh any happier. Kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Kessler.
That zone just is tough on the top with their length and how they got to ball fake it so much, and then at the same time you got to make sure your high post area is got guys flashing. And
right now when Lyman's struggling to shoot the basketball, that makes that 2-3 zone look that much better.
Makes it feel like there's 6 or 7 guys on the floor.
Manley for 3! And Tyson Manley, his second three-point, no, check that, his first three-pointer of the game.
6 rebounds, 2 assists for Tyson so far in this one too. He's had a good game for the Warriors. Kind of one of those other options, with those second or third options stepping up for Castlewood like teams had this afternoon.
Long 3, short by Garnos. Volmer, kick out Deem. Deem pull up from 15, no good. Rebound taken out of there by Aderhold. Frustration starting to set in a little bit for Lyman. You can just see it on their faces. Kessler for 3 on the right wing in front of the Castlewood bench. And all but one field goal have been scored by Cam Kessler in this quarter for Castlewood. He's got 10 in the quarter, and then you add the Manley three-pointer. And it's been a great start for Castlewood. A 13-2 quarter so far here, just about halfway through.
Lyman did a really good job in that first half on him too. Conway Collins, they came out and kind of face guarded Cam all over the floor. And Cam just kind of hung in the back a little bit that first half, but now it's time to make a run, and Zero's the one that kind of leads the charge for the Warriors.
Yeah, he does. And when he starts doing what he does, you'll start to see other guys get open looks because he draws so much attention. Castlewood, there's a look at Grew and his Minions. Castlewood cheerleaders trying to keep their crowd fired up. Of course, tomorrow night, Spirit of 6 and Spirit of Sioux awards will be handed out. Max Scott leading the lifeguards there for the Lyman student section. Mac was an all-tournament performer last weekend in Brookings in the Class B tournament. Senior graduating with a lot of honors in the Lyman girls basketball lore.
turn it over to her younger sister.
Yeah, Jordan's a pretty nice player also. She had a good tournament.
Max set all the records, and Jordan will come along and
try to break
them.
Yeah. Keeper gets Lyman started out of the timeout. They're going to put MJ Deem now on Kessler. He's going to be the one to try to just face guard. Who's the next one to step up for the Warriors? Aderhold wants it. Manley says, I'll take it again. No, just in and out. Werke. Did he come through the rim to block that?
I think so. I think hand through the net. That's what.
And then quickly the other way. Was that Seaboy? Chase Seaboy.
Good response from Lyman there on that one to run out and finish.
Manley down the lane. Can't quite get it to go. A foul, and he'll have 2 free throws. That'll take us to a media timeout. .330 to play. We'll take our break. We're back in a moment on SDPB.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
From Walks Arena out of the media timeout. Good to go. At the free throw line is Manley. That foul was called on Canyon Garnos, his second, by the way. And Tyson Manley makes the first. 7 points for Manley. Now 8. As you saw the basket cam, the backboard cam, if you will, there. Good look at it on the free throw, straight on. Dawson Vollmer. Lyman trailing by 14. They have to start to be a little more urgent on offense because they're having trouble defensively right now against Castlewood's size. MJ Dean can't find the range from 3.
You're right with the urgency, but they need to also see the ball go through the basket a couple of times to hopefully get themselves going here too.
Manley way out high now. As Castlewood says, we'll just play 4-on-4. That's all right. They leave Kessler out the left wing, just standing there waiting. Werke inside. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Ripped away by Vollmer. Will go the other way. That's that toughness that Coach Rosh was talking about. Didn't think they were very tough. Foul way out on the wing on the drive. Foul called on number 5. Tyson Manley. First personal. Out will come Werke.
You can tell Dawson was going to the rim with that one too. He got it and got his shoulder in front of the defender, and he was going.
Way out high. Oh, I thought Everson was going to time that just right, but he couldn't quite get there.
A good decision by him to kind of let up instead of just running through and picking up a foul too.
Blocked. Blocked again. No, and they're going to call a foul on Manley. He's going to have his second personal. Here you'll see it. The first block. Aderhold. Good block. From behind. Yeah. When you start swinging and bringing it through, they're going to call that. I spent many a night staying up late as a player, rewatching the film with my father, telling me, you can't block shots in high school basketball from behind, so just stop trying. They're going to call it a foul every time. We had a lot of those conversations. I think one would learn. I'm a slow learner, so that's why. Seaboy makes the second. So Manley will come out as Wernke will come back in. Bass along with Everson, Kessler, Aderhold, and Wernke for Castlewood. Ringer! Will Aderhold! A little energy from Will that time after the make. Tips it away. Vollmer strong inside, blocked by Aderhold, chased down by Kiefer. Kiefer to the lane, kick out. Vollmer thought about the three. There's Aderhold right there. Good defense by the sophomore.
To cut him off, yeah. Said if he can add that, shooting the three-pointer consistently to his arsenal as he continues to grow and to develop, he's going to be a problem.
Dean for three, no good.
More so than he already is.
I was going to say, so he's not a problem yet? Is that what you're saying? On the rebound, Aderhold's going to be fouled. Jerry Beers says. From behind, they call that on Vollmer. Yeah, his fourth personal now. And you got to play through it, don't you? Just say go.
And Coach Rosh mentioned that at halftime too. It's semifinal night, right? There's
Everson stepped on a foot and just lost his balance. Seaboy comes away with it. Down 16 now. Lyman's got to go a little bit.
Seaboy's done a nice job for Lyman too, kind of being on the boards on both ends. And
Everson just about caught an elbow in the nose. Down to 8 on the shot. This zone has really stifled Lyman. Long three, Deem, no. Tipped away. Deem tries to pass it inside. Now they'll throw it out. Kessler on the run out. Kessler layup is good. Cam Kessler continues to add points to his total. 16 now in the game for Kessler.
That last pass, Deem had the guy short corner, but Wernke and Aderhold there. Looks like there's a passing lane, and those two just swallowed up in a hurry with their length.
Collins trying to run through. Pass cross court, went right off of Collins' head, and Dean couldn't catch it. 16.6 to play. Kessler does a really good job of keeping people on his back so he can come get the basketball. He doesn't let them face guard him. His basketball IQ is so high. Everson, no. Rebound. Doesn't matter. Still made it. A crazy way to make that shot. Just doesn't count after the buzzer. 38-20. Castlewood closing in on a return trip to the state championship game. We'll take a break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Back inside Walks Arena and getting ready for our final 8 minutes for a chance to play for a state title. The team in blue, the Castlewood Warriors, trying to defend their title. Right now being willed that way, if you will, by Aderhold and Cam Kessler. No pun intended. And it wasn't that good anyway, but
yeah, good quarter for Castlewood there, extending their lead to 18 here, and just 7 points that quarter for Lyman. We talked about them shooting 8 of 33 from the field so far in the contest. And it's tough to beat teams, and obviously really good teams, when you're struggling to shoot the basketball.
There's a foul on Castlewood to start the quarter. Little handsy that time was Trevor Everson. That'll be Trevor's third personal, so he'll come out. Manley will come back in. Tyson Manley brings 2 personal fouls with him. 16 for Kessler, 11 for Aderhold, 8 for Manley, and 1 point for Leonard Werke. That's the, and 2 points for Brody Bass. The scoring there. 8 points for Kiefer, 5 for Vod, 4 for Deem, and 3 for Seaboy for Lyman. Kiefer, no. Rebound, Werke. Bass going to play point guard and then get rid of it up to Manley. He'll wait for everybody to cross. Manley goes away from the screen. Now Aderhold will set one for Bass. Bass, 15 on the shot clock.
Bass directing. He sees the mismatch, and Deem is just pushing on Aderhold.
3-point basket. Big shot Brody showing up again when they need a big point. 41-20.
Just his second shot attempt. He's only missed 1 for the whole tournament so far, but he's only taken about 5.
Well, again, you talked about it. He hasn't had to. It's unselfish basketball. Again, if you're a young player, watch Brody Bass play. He does what he's supposed to.
That last possession was a prime example. He had the basketball, swung it to the wing, and was telling the other guy to get it to the corner, because Aderhold had 5'11" MJ Deem on him in the post, and Brody sees that and is trying to utilize that mismatch.
Foul called on number 15, Leonard Werke. That's his third personal.
Cole Kiefer knocks down the first one.
9 points for Kiefer. He leads Lyman right now. Lefty. Smooth stroke at the free throw line, gets it to fall. Double digits now with 10, but it's 41-22. Time ticking away with every possession for Lyman. And their opportunity to try to complete the Cinderella run.
Lyman has a typo on their stats they sent us, but they got Cole Kiefer at a 49% free throw shooter. He was 5 of 6 or something yesterday, and knocking him down today too. So
if that's true, he's certainly come to play here this weekend.
He likes the Barnett Center.
Yes, he does. Skip pass. Long 3, Collins.
Got it.
Wow. That was deep. When he first let that go, that was going to be way short.
Ton of arch on it too. It was high and nothing but net.
It's going to be a blocking foul. Big collision, but I think I got to agree. Seaboy didn't have his feet down. Nobody available to help. Seaboy got there way late.
I think Lyman's asking for maybe a push that Werke. I think that was after the contact.
Did he bring the arm out? Maybe I don't.
I think it was more kind of to gather his balance than it was that on a push or anything.
Brody Bass will throw it down to the baseline. What a take by big Brody Bass! Everybody peeled out.
Yeah, trying to run to the corner to guard the shooters, and
absolutely no way that he get that from his dad.
Jared would have shot the 3 in the corner.
And then just jogged back to the other end.
Love you, Jared.
Yeah, right on, brother. Oh, MJ Deem, tough shot. Deem falling down, the runner there. That's a tough basket. 43-27.
I've kind of seen Deem do that all tournament, and watching him throughout the last couple years here. He makes tough shots, but makes them at a high percentage too.
Look at Brody Bass right there, number 4, that big dunk. We've called him Big Shot Brody. You know, last year, about a month after this state tournament, he lost his mom tragically and unexpectedly. Tracy Bass passing away. And there was a Facebook post put out there with kind of her with angel wings behind their Castlewood bus as they took off this weekend to come here to Aberdeen. And I mean, if you get a chance to see it, it was instant tears for me. But I'll tell you what, that kid's been through some stuff, and he's just risen with everything that he does. Love that kid. I've gotten to know him a little bit, and thanks to his dad, he lets me talk to him once in a while, so that helps. But wow, what a weekend for this kid. 5:15 to play, 43-27. 16-point lead for the Warriors. A little hot. Everson can't handle it. Got moving a little quick.
Yeah, he's like he tried to turn the corner and put it on the floor maybe before he had actually caught it.
Dean will trigger the inbound from the baseline now. Get it to Vollmer. Way out high against that 2-3 zone again. Castlewood's so good at extending that zone right now and making it tough to get anything inside the three-point line even. Passing lanes are closed. They're playing good gap defense. Little contact. They're not going to get that call. I was waiting for both arms to come out.
Maybe.
Probably not tonight.
I actually thought it looked good going in here too.
Yeah, just left it short. Bass again for three. Yes! Brody Bass! He's got 10 in the game, 8 in the quarter, 46-27. Rebound, Werke. Out to Kessler, good gather and finish! Cam Kessler. To the media timeout, we'll come back to a free throw from Cam Kessler in just a moment, but we'll wait till they call it and acknowledge it. They have acknowledged it. 4:20 to play, 48-27. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Sweet Caroline is rocking right now in the Barnett Center. And Castlewood is fired up. 48-27, make it, nope, keep it 48-27. Cam Kessler struggles at the free throw line. Continue, that's maybe the one thing that he's not done well in this second half. On the baseline. To give. Werke lost the hand, goes right in the hands of Garno standing out of bounds. They finally have something go their way, but yet they don't.
Yeah.
Bass will inbound.
Yeah, we were mentioning that last time out. Castlewood shooting 50%.
Deep pass. Kessler off the glass and good. The run out. Bass saw it. Kessler just, again, those first 3 or 4 steps is where he beats you, and then it's just an easy run to the hoop.
50% from the field for the Warriors and 53% from the free throw line. So when Coach Ross talked about needing to shoot it better from the line, he wasn't joking there.
Tough. It's a tough goal right now in the paint.
And everything just such a, Castlewood just does such a good job of contesting everything. And Lyman's had some good looks and stuff, but then you're just having to finish over top that length every time kind of affects what you're doing.
Kessler just going to dribble around a little bit, control things. Again, work the clock with 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Castlewood ready to move on to a championship game. Kessler down the lane, too strong as he flips it up and in, got scratched in the arm on the way by. Foul going to be called. Is that on Garnos? It is the son of Cooper Garnels, Kenyon, picks up his third. Manley will come back in here shortly. 23-point lead right now. Largest lead of the tournament for any team. You don't usually expect that in the championship semifinal, but Castlewood has just played so well defensively, and Lyman, you know, tough. It was a big emotional win for them last night. Come out and do it 2 nights in a row as the 8 seed. That's tough to do.
And you got to credit Castlewood's defense a little bit for Lyman's shooting percentages. That Lyman 10 of 40 from the field, and we mentioned it's just tough to beat really good teams if you're going to struggle to shoot the basketball.
Yep. Vollmer, rebound in the paint, foul from behind. And we called, I think, on Bass. It is on Brody Bass. Maybe caught the arm on that block. You can't block shots from behind in high school basketball, Brad. Just stop trying to do it. Brody with his second foul is all. He kind of knew right away. Like, he turned and looked like, me? Was that me? When you do that, there's just a little bit of guilt in you, right? Like, okay, maybe I did. New sub into the game for Castlewood will be number 10. Caden Nedved, a 6-foot senior, going to get his opportunity to play on the Wax Arena floor, Don Meyer Court here in the Barnett Center.
Vollmer knocks down the second. His first point of the night.
First point for Dawson Vollmer. Incredible.
Had to sit for, I don't want to say a majority, but quite a while in that first quarter, that first half with foul trouble. And
Manley for 3. No, too strong. Rebound, Aderhold last to touch it. We're going to go the other way. 2:26 to play. 52-28, and Lyman will clear the bench as well. No, not quite. They'll bring a couple of young guys back in, but Seaboy and Collins will come back in with 3 other players. Number 5, Connor Sanko. Number 23, Redrick Sazu. His dad was a DWU star back in the day. And who's the other one? Number 24, Austin House, the 5'11 junior. Castlewood will bring number 44, Denver Mack. They bring out 2 of their 3 seniors along with Cam Kessler. The junior, by the way. Kessler just a junior. House will leave it inside. Seaboy blocked by Aderhold. Taken out of there by Nedved, and then whistle just for subs. Well, they are going to take the 30 anyway, talk it over, I think. Just to set. If Lyman wants it, then they'll take it. If he doesn't want it, they said no, go ahead, just run it. Subs. No, they're going to start it anyway. All right.
Take it, whole new crew in for both sides. So talk it over a little bit.
Was it Talon Olson in there for Castlewood? And who was the other one? Number 20 comes in, Cooper Thu. I'm assuming the younger brother of Quincy, who is a star for their state champ last year, one of their stars. Graduated last year, played in a few state tournaments on his own. Everson. Olson. Watch him try to get Caden Olson open for a 3. He likes to shoot it from the 3-point line. Everson diving out of bounds to save it. Can't come up with it. Probably going to see Everson come out here next, I would think. As much as hard as he wants to play, you maybe don't want something happening to him here going into one more game tomorrow night.
Big part of their rotation, yeah.
Might have a chance to play for a big game tomorrow night, so. Everson will pick up his 4th. He might just get 2 quick ones to have to come up. Coach, I told you, take me out. Everson, though, just a sophomore. We haven't mentioned that really that much. He's one of the young ones. 3 missing wide left. for Collins, and he kind of smirks and looks at Evers, and they have a little conversation. He looked up like, did we turn a fan on up there?
A little while ago, Conway hit that one from 40 feet, too.
30 feet high and 40 feet out.
And that one just a little wide left.
I have to apologize. I don't have a number 45 in the book, on my book. So I don't know if that's Bodie Montgomery. I'm not sure who that is. So with the switching of Collins' number, I didn't know if they had to make another switch with someone else or what happened there, but again, we're going to try to catch up with Coach Roush. We'll take a quick break. As soon as we're done with this final buzzer goes, we're going to throw it back. One quick 60-second break to get out of there, and then we'll come back to visit with Coach Roush on their, see what his thoughts are on their second half.
I think
it's because 45 has a number.
Yeah,
he's covering it up. He's hiding it.
Right
He's got it squished together.
Roush didn't tell him, don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's just going to say, don't worry about it. Let it go. I mean, the rule book says you got to do it. Now you can do a gentleman's. Coach Roush doesn't want it. Yeah, an illegal uniform. Coach Roush is like, please don't do it, but you got to do it. That's the book. You got to follow the rule. You can't just go away from it.
Yeah, so you get the technical because a wrong number or not the number in the book. Get the technical, and then you put the number in by the kid, and then he's good to go.
Well, it's a way for a bench player to get in the book, and Caden Nedved makes his first points of the state tournament. Going to go 2 for 2? Yes, he is. That just helped their free throw percentage.
Coach Roush was wanting him to shoot better, so to tell him Caden's your guy to put in for those free throws.
Yeah, there was. I mean, again, like you said, Coach Roush was like, try to just waive it. Don't do it. But you can't do that. Like, you have to follow the letter of the rule book, and it's just how it is. 54-28. Olsen swinging it around. Gonna have more subs. There's a foul. We'll get more free throws as Freeman and Wall await in the wings back in the hallway going, come on.
Yeah.
I thought this thing was over a while ago. Trying to just. And Rosher's telling Jerry Beers, now if we don't make this second free throw, I want the timeout. Or if we do make it, I mean. Nedved 3 for 3 at the free throw line. And they're going to get to come in after the made first free throw, of course. And we'll have one more body to come in. Easton Carter comes in. Is Baker in there? Cairo Baker.
Jack Sterlson.
Nope, no Baker. There you go.
30, Braden
Ari
Rusink.
Benzelf.
Braden Rusink.
And the countdown starts. Castlewood will control. Benzelf keeps the dribble. He's going to pull a three. Did he step on the line, though? No, too strong. Battle for the rebound. Sazu traveled when he came out of there with it. House wants to lay one up. No, he's not. I thought he'd just take it to the layup anyway, just for fun. 24.8 seconds to play. Some smiles on Castlewood side. A few smiles on the Lyman side as well. In a game like this, it got away from them. They just couldn't make some shots against that Castlewood defense.
Which happens to a lot of teams. So
yeah.
You don't have to
feel
bad about that.
Yeah, you hold a team to 28 points in a state championship semifinal. You're doing something right. And again, they went to that 2-3 zone, and it just caused problems galore for Lyman. Castlewood just going to try to dribble this out if they can. Jax Theraldson, and an over and back call as it's chased down by Denver Mac. 6.6 to play. Sazu looking for a screen. There's a big screen. There's going to be a foul going the other way. And then he hits it, of course.
He's still excited there.
2.6 seconds to play. Sazu, he wants to get a steal and a shot up still. He's up here full court. And look at that. He's going to foul him. Get in the book. Castlewood advances to the state championship. Take a break. Back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These two privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Back inside Wax Arena. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. There we go. We got to get the mom high. And hey, did it again. It was a battle. You talked about it at half. You didn't like how you're shooting free throws, and you wanted to get better on offense.
A lot happier than I was at halftime. we were pretty good tonight. Both ends. Defense is what set the tone. I thought our zone could give them some trouble with our length, and our guys just did a fantastic job. Sometimes when we play our zone, we over-gamble and don't rebound very well. Tonight we didn't do that. They stayed home, did their job, and we're happy to be moving on.
Cam Kessler had a fantastic second half. Third quarter, he just took over again, but Manley hit shots. Brody Bass, what a fourth quarter to start for you guys to really get the energy.
Yeah, we needed all of our guys to play tonight. We knew they were going to go after Cam pretty hard, and they did. They did a nice job on him first half, and Cam got a little frustrated, but he stayed with it. He's been around. He's a veteran, and he stayed tough and made some plays when we needed it.
Hard to win basketball games at any level, and to do it when you got a target on your back as the defending state champ's pretty special.
Tell me, we don't take it for granted. This is really hard to do. People don't understand how hard it is to win just one state tournament game, and for us to put two together. If you'd have told me mid-January that we'd be here, I'd have said you're crazy, but our guys have really matured as the year went on, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Congrats, Rosh. Good luck to you, buddy. You bet. Coach Paul Rosh will throw it back. Come back in about 2 minutes and get ready for our second championship semifinal on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
We came across this intriguing story.
Things are starting to get going.
Are you prepared?
It is a golden opportunity.
It's not over.
It will be all that you've dreamed of.
Be over there in about 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Back inside Wax Arena, Brad Beer alongside Steve Erickson. And again, we have one entrant into our state championship game. It's your defending champs. And they are going to do it again. You made it. How much gum did you chew? No gum harmed. We take a look, Cam Kessler on our highlights, attacking the basket. Quick look at some of the stats.
Cam really got it rolling in the second half, and Lyman did a great job coming out of the gates. He scored 30 yesterday and knew they had a job to do on him, but kept him under wraps until the second half, and he got it going. 22 points for him tonight. Coach Roshan, you talked about it. Brody Bass, 10. Had 3 rebounds. Tyson Manley hit some big shots. He had 8 with 6 boards.
There's that flush, too.
Warkey with 6. Aderhold, 11 big points, 5 rebounds. Has him for 3 block shots, but it felt like he had so many more, and maybe it's just how much he affects it.
Yeah, it changed so many.
You know, hats off to Castlewood and Coach Rosh with that defense and just kind of putting on a defensive clinic of his guys, like he said, staying home and not gambling, making it tough for Lyman, and that showed 10 of 44 for the Lyman Raiders from the field. And I thought they played well enough. They just didn't have shots fall, and when you struggle to shoot it against a team like Castlewood, that makes it tough, and then you kind of get frustrated. Showed in some of their foul trouble as well. So
the Dakota Valley Conference represented again by Castlewood, thanks to the Warriors. Hey, we'll take another break, come back out, and get you into a special package and a special interview that was done when we return here on SDPB Sports.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
From Wax Arena, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Hey, life can sometimes feel like a roller coaster. It can have its ups and downs and uncertainty around each corner. For Levi Atkins of Clark Willow Lake, There have been some bumpy moments the past couple of years, but his attitude and perspective on life, something we can all be inspired by.
I grew up, my dad played and my mom played, so I grew up around basketball, and that's kind of what runs in my family. I mean, my little brother plays, just everybody in the family plays. So now I might not be the best player on the court, but I like to stick with it. It just brings me a lot of joy to be able to go out there and go play the game. Just every day in practice, we know we can get better. You think you've hit that top spot, but there's always that spot you can get a little bit better. So.
Levi Atkins is a senior this year at Clark Willow Lake. While he's certainly enjoying his final few months in high school, it hasn't been easy. The summer in between his sophomore and junior year, he received news that no kid should ever have to hear.
Fighting sickness for like the first 3 months of summer, and we were getting into August, and I just couldn't get over anything. And it was about August 6th that I had to go into the hospital, and they took my blood, and my white blood cell count was very, very high. And when the news broke that I had AML, it just shook my family. My mom broke down, I broke down. It was probably some of the worst news I've ever gotten. I was in the hospital from that day on till March 3rd, so I missed a lot of school. Luckily, they kept me going online, and a lot of things that brought me joy. Like, I didn't get to see friends much. I didn't get to play sports. It was a rough period for me. I had to go through 5 rounds of chemo, and that really took a toll on my body. There were just days that I didn't want to get up and do anything, or it hurt to get up.
At first, I think it was very emotional, especially for the kids in his class, to know that one of their own was diagnosed with leukemia and the big C word, and no one ever wants to hear that. And to know then have a kid have that. We knew that summer he had been sick for a while. We knew something was wrong. Things weren't right. And when he came back and said that, our guys were kind of devastated by that, especially that senior group. Then they're a close group of guys. And they kind of all rallied around him a little bit. They went down and saw him a couple times in Sioux Falls. And I think that lifted his spirits, as well as the guys that went down there.
Community support, not just from the Clark and Willow Lake communities, rallied around in supporting Levi.
I feel like there's some schools that they have that hatred towards each other. I don't think we really have that in these small communities, because we know that we really can't hate on each other. We have something in common with each other.
Communities just absorb these kids like their own. So that's important as a dad, as a coach, and as a teacher.
Last spring, right around the time that Clark Willow Lake was making their push in the postseason, Levi received the news that lifted the hearts of everyone.
March 3rd of 2025, I was officially released from the hospital. And then I believe it was 2 months later, maybe 3, I got the great news that I was officially cancer-free. So I've been cancer-free now for about 6 months, and life isn't the exact same, but it's way more closer to normal than I had to deal with in the hospital.
To add to it, Levi surprised the team by showing up on the final day of last year's state boys basketball tournament.
I went into the hotel and surprised all the guys, and it was just a great moment.
And when I entered or left the locker room, I didn't expect him to be doing warm-ups. And he was out there doing the warm-up line with the guys, and I think that brought a lot of joy to him, and even with our guys. Even our parents, they became kind of emotional when they saw Levi out there.
Throughout Levi's journey, he leaned on his faith.
I just bought this a little while ago. It is a little cross that says Philippians 4:13, which is my favorite verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I even wrote it on my tile in the hospital. It is a verse that has stuck with me throughout my journey, talking about, like, there's no reason to give up.
You can't measure his heart. This guy comes to practice every day, and he works his tail off every day, and he kind of knows that there's not a huge reward for him at the end. because he's not going to see a lot of playing time. But he takes every opportunity he can is to play the game. He takes every practice as an opportunity to play the game, whether it's in front of fans or not. That's what he's looking for.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
From Walks Arena and the Barnett Center campus of Northern State University, I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Let's take a look at our second championship semifinal. The Wall Eagles out of Pennington County, and of course Wall, South Dakota. Ryan Kerstead, the head coach. Royal Blue, Vegas Gold and White, Washington Lee Swing. There's your season recap. They beat Phillip, New Underwood, Sanborn Central, Woonsocket, a 6-point win, and then the 3-point victory over DeSmit. They start this way. Your First Dakota starting lineup: Emmett Dinger, Dawson Hancock, Jace Moore, Teelan Kerstead, and Trevor Schultz, 4 seniors and a junior. Their opponent, the Flyers of Freeman, 22-2, out of Freeman, South Dakota. Hutchinson County down there. Are they the capital? I think Freeman's the capital of Hutchinson County too, by the way. 87, the enrollment. Lance Friesen is the head coach. Maroon and white, school colors, joyous and ever loyal. Your school song: Gayville, Vollen, and Parkston in region play. A win over Lower Brule in the Sodak 16, and an 8-point victory, the largest victory, or the largest margin of victory on day one of the state tournament, 63-55 over Sully Buttes. Their First Dakota starting lineup looks like this: Tayden Kerrigan, who shot it well early last night, 6-foot sophomore, followed by Luke Miller, the 6'1 sophomore. The senior, 5'11", number 22, Luke Peters. David Walter, just a sophomore, 6'5", and the other senior, Tate Sorensen, the 6'2 senior, rounding out your First Dakota starting lineups. As we get ready for our 8th game of the tournament, our second championship semifinal, we're going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Mr. Kent Hansen, as we get ready for more electricity in the Barnett Center.
Good evening. The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activity Association and its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you back to the second game of semifinal Friday at the State B Boys High School Tournament. Our second semifinal match will feature the Wall Eagles taking on the Freeman Flyers. Let's meet tonight's officials, starting with our junior officials from Freeman, William Teege, and from Wall, Ryan Moser. Our game officials are Scott Sonny, Josh Kemp, Andrew Warner, and Brent Dirk as alternate. Tonight's starters. First for the Eagles, at a forward, 6'3", senior number 0, Evan Giger. At a guard for the Flyers, 6-foot sophomore, number 11, Tayden Kerrigan. At a wing for the Eagles, 6'4", senior number 1, Dawson Hancock. And for the Flyers, 6-foot sophomore, number 20, Luke Miller. At a guard for Wall, senior number 2, Jace Moore. And for the Flyers, 5'11", senior number 22, Luke Peters. At a guard for the Eagles, 6'3", junior number 5, Keelan Kerstad. For the Flyers, 6'5", sophomore, number 35, David Walter. At a forward for Wall, 6-foot senior, number 21, Trevor Schultz. And for Freeman, 6'2", senior, number 42, Tate Sorensen. The Eagles are coached by Tanner Hancock and Ryan Digger. The head coach of the Wall Eagles, Ryan Kerstad. The Flyers are coached by Kyle Weir, Jackson Fegan. The head coach of the Freeman Flyers, Lance Friesian. Today's lineups were brought to you by Channel C. Our student sections are brought to you by the University of South Dakota. Eagle fans, are you ready? Flyer fans, are you ready? Let's play for a spot Saturday night.
Tip it up. David Walter.
Olivet's the county seat of Hutchinson.
Oh yes, that's right. Olivet is on the way to
right in the middle of Hutch County,
between Scotland and Menno.
It's right in the middle between Parkston and Freeman.
Miller's going to be mad at me because I didn't know that. That's where he lives. Quick start for Freeman, and then Wall pushing quickly up the sideline. As Luke Peters, the senior, got things rolling there for Freeman. You can take that. That didn't take him long.
Peters hit the first shot for Freeman last night, I think, too. Him or Miller, one of the two. Hit those couple threes.
Dinger slips and falls. We're going to travel, I think. He jumped and landed and took that step.
I think he almost looked like he got grabbed a little bit, though. And
they all kind of got tied up right there, about 2 or 3 of them, and then he came out of there with it, hopping, and they call the travel.
Wall, the 9A state football champs this year. Freeman, the 9AA state football champs, and you can tell why with both of them on the floor right now.
There's athletes galore. I mean, you look out there right now, and I don't think you go, well, that kid's not real athletic, but he's a nice basketball player. I mean, there's athletes out there, dude. Walter with the rebound on the miss. David will push. Left hand. Leave that for Sorensen in the paint. Step through, fading away with the left, no good. The run out, Dinger tried to get ahead, does. Somehow got it, and then it's hit out of bounds. It'll be Wall basketball. Peters got the disruption out there on that pass to Dinger, but then, threw it off the hands of a Freeman player out of bounds.
Kerrigan off Kerrigan's hands, but yeah, Peters just disrupted it enough that he can't get a...
Peters again. The senior, just a workhorse. Kerstead, just under 30 points a contest. He averages. Dawson Hancock can't get it to go. Tate Sorensen way out high against Schultz. And it falls down. Fading away as Walter can't get it to go. Quickly the other way as Wall.
These two teams did play each other back on February 14th at a Classic in Mitchell.
And the score, not what you may think when you watch these two teams play last night.
Freeman, a 72-48 win in that contest, but
the other end, Kerrigan. Hayden Kerrigan, an early bucket here for Freeman.
A little over a month ago for that one, and I would venture to guess that both coaches would say they're probably better at this point than...
Yes. Blocking foul on Luke Peters. That'll be his first personal. Contact was made, then the shoulder came down, I think. So it looks like sometimes they're running through him, but contact was made because the defense is moving. Held ball underneath on the miss. It'll stay Wall basketball. 5.5 minutes to play in our opening quarter. Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. The lob to Schultz. Schultz will just clear it out, reset. Jace Moore said he was, Joe Robbie MVP of that 9A championship game, if I remember right. Kerstead, long three, no good. Rebound. Tapped around, bodies hit the floor, held ball. We're going to go the other way. It'll be Freeman basketball as Peters waits around to help Kerstead up, and then Sorensen jumps in instead. So good show of sportsmanship here. A bunch of good athletes helping each other off the floor after they go hard for basketball. Younger Emiot will check in for Wall. Younger going to be tasked with guarding Tate Sorensen.
You're seeing Freeman kind of put Sorensen in the post a little bit more than they did last night. We had mentioned
Dinger
that.
with the takeaway, the run out, up off the glass, and that's going to be goaltending. Basket's good. Ball was above the cylinder, and the backboard is hit. It's automatic goaltending. That's the new call.
Yep.
And last year, with that, we're going to have our... Okay, we'll get the next one. We'll get the next one. That was close.
Too early. They didn't need a break yet.
No, they're not tired yet. I can't believe that. What in the world? Wow, these three guys are such good shape. Yeah, Stephen Kemp. He's been out golfing already 5 or 6 times this spring, or this winter/spring. Now we'll go to break with immediate timeout, 4:45 to play. We're back with free throws on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Back inside the Wax Arena. Neon night for the Freeman Flyer faithful. David Walter at the free throw line for 2. First one is up and good. That foul was called on Younger Amiot. In for Freeman will come Taylor Goodwin. An early break for Luke Miller.
Oliver Waltner in for Freeman too.
Talked to Oliver's dad. Said, "Are you nervous?" "Yes, very." But he's trying to cover it for the paper with all his photos. I said, "Well, you got to separate." I'm trying. Jeremy Waltner, that is, from the Freeman Courier. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I believe so. Freeman in the 1-2-2 that they showed a little bit last night.
Right now they dropped into it. Now they're back into man out of it. It's a lot of switching. Emmett Dinger for 3. Dinger with the dagger from the left wing. Way out high. 4:15 to play.
Talked about Emmett last night being a guy that's very capable scorer for Wall, and he hit those big ones down the stretch last night for the Eagles, and getting it started early today.
Well, and Kerstead has had just such a special scoring season, just so special offensively, that Dinger kind of shows evidently the kind of kid he is, because he kind of took a back seat to let Kerstead be the guy.
I think last year coming in the state tournament, it was almost,
Dinger was at 22 or 23.
Was a year younger, but yeah. Dinger was a...
And Freeman wants a quick timeout. A 30-second timeout will keep it here as Dinger right back to it. So back-to-back baskets for him.
Kind of see how this game is going to play out already in that first 4 minutes of action here. Back and forth, and teams making runs, and it's going to be one of those where you just kind of got to bide the time and kill momentum once in a while when teams get it. And
it's an interesting timeout by Coach Friesen, but I think it's a situation where they probably talked about something and it wasn't executed, and it's something they want to make sure they know what they're doing right away.
Sometimes it's one of those things too. They went to that 1-2-2, and you're going to see how Wall's maybe going to set up against it. So now we know, so we can make our adjustment in it a little bit too. So what it does do is give Wall a chance to set up their full court pressure a little bit more.
Five-second call. Was that a 5-second call, or was it just a violation because he was moving along the baseline?
No, it's 5 second.
He could move, yeah, because it was on a make. Yeah, it was on a made basket. Kerstead the kick out. Hancock back to Kerstead. Wide open look, same spot, left wing, short. Rebound Miller. Kerrigan will bring it up.
See jumpers short from both these teams so far a little bit. It's both of those games late last night that they had with how fast these teams play. You wonder too if that's going to be part of it.
Inside, Waltner. Little bump, little contact. They're going to call the foul. Here you'll see it in the middle.
Yeah, Waltner gave the...
Maybe got away with one there and then kind of swipes across. That's why they call it. Whether he hit the arm or not from behind, that looks like you're coming across the arm.
Yeah.
Younger Amiot picks up foul number 2.
Younger's wondering why there wasn't a foul early on the move by Waltner too. Kind of cleared him out a little bit.
Tied at 7. Oliver Waltner have his second one as they sort things out. Everybody pointing out who they've got. And that one's too strong. Rebound Peters. Good fake. And then the power dribble up to the right side for the lay-in.
Great patience by Peters. A lot of times you see the guy get that rebound and go right back up. Maybe rush their shot a little bit, but Peters, great patience, ball fake, and pays off with 2 for the Flyers. Coach Kerstad's looking for a timeout here.
He's going to take a 30 with 3:14 to play. So both coaches, lots of X's and O's right now.
See the chess match playing out a little bit, trying to feel each other out and counter what each other's doing here.
Yeah, and again, got to save some for later because you've got to believe this game's going to be one of those that just continues back and forth. But you got to use them early so that it doesn't get away from you.
Yeah,
as well.
you don't want it to run away from you either. So
just a quick reminder for those of you that are watching in, or make sure and pass this along to anyone. STB's coverage of high school sports and activities made possible through the generous support of viewers just like you. Contribution today helps support the broadcast of events such as these basketball championships. Make a donation by visiting sdpb.org/donate. Again, the friends of SDPB appreciate all that you do, and so do sports fans and high school activity fans across the state. The lob, leave it, Hancock, blocked, and then it gets back in the hands of Hancock. Somehow got that underneath. I don't even know how that got through there. Sundahl missed the reverse. Walter crossover to the lane, lay it up, no good. Went left hand on the right side. Kerstead, he's got nowhere to go, just ran out of real estate. Playing a little quick those last two trips maybe, huh? Walter.
See both teams with their man-to-man defense just switching ball screens. I think both teams are comfortable with any of their five guarding any of the other team's five.
The Hancock, a little alley-oop, and he lays it up off the glass in the end. That pass from Kerstead. The left baseline, the three is good.
Taylor right back, Kerstead.
No time to let them celebrate. You better get back on defense against these Wall Eagles because they run 94 feet as fast as anybody. Walter, you fouled by Hancock.
They do such a good job of advancing the ball up the floor with the pass. And
when again, they run that sideline break. That's their primary break, and everybody knows where they're supposed to go. From whatever position you're on the floor, they know exactly where to go with the basketball. Two passes, and you're already down three-quarters court, so now it's a chance to make a decision when you get down there. Walter makes the first. 3 for 3 from the free throw line for David Walter.
Kerrigan back in and Tannen out in for the Flyers.
Out goes Miller and Waltner. David Walter with the free throws good.
Gives him 4 and all from the line.
1:40 to play here. The opening quarter. Sundahl gives to Kerstead. Kerstead now. Step back, top of the key, reverse pivot, step through, floater, good.
Good patience by Kerstead with that too, and using his pivot and stepping by.
Walter, kick out, 3 on the way. Got it, Freeman knocking down 3-pointers, Tannen out. It's the bench players with a couple of threes.
They did that last night too. Out came in and hit a 3 for him. So
in the middle of the lane, diving to the hole was Austin Kerstead. We didn't see Austin last night, but the 6'3" senior out there right now. Kerrigan down the lane, up off the glass and good. And here comes Kerstead at the other end. Thielen for 3, got it. We're gonna all need a little ice on our necks tonight. Back and forth we go. The tennis match continues. 22 seconds to play in the quarter. Kerstead just about slapped that away.
And I think both teams are comfortable playing with this for 4 quarters too.
Kerrigan step back. Left is short. Running out his wall. They'll fire it down the floor. Kerstead can't handle it again. Got away from him. 4.4 seconds to play. Coach Friesen telling Tayden Kerrigan, look at the clock. We didn't need it that early, especially against Wall. Takes them all of about 0.7 seconds to get it down the floor.
And then when you do miss it, get back. Don't give up a layup.
Do not be disappointed in a miss and hang your head, because they're already scored twice on you at the other end. And the throwaway, Kerstead just inside the three-point line. Walter, fire the basket's good. He'll still get the three-point play opportunity. Thielen Kerstead. What a run by the Eagles here at the end of the quarter. 19-18. Gonna back Tayden Kerrigan up. He's a little too far up the floor there. Maybe outside that three-point circle at the top.
Coach Friesen still talking about that last possession.
Short on the free throw. Just about got it tipped up and in. And it'll stay 19-18. The Flyers survive. And again, up and down we go. Lots of points put up. Take a break. We'll catch our breath back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
We're back inside Wax Arena out of the quarter break. 19-18 our score. Wall made a quick run late there to close the gap, get it back to within one. Interesting to see what was said in that Freeman timeout, because Coach Friesen was not happy with a couple of decisions late in that quarter.
Well, he was big last night about valuing the basketball and not turning it over as much. And
Emmett Dinger, his second three. You talked about these two teams in their state football championships. Walter in and out, no good. Rebound by Wall. They'll run it out. Dinger, then a big hard bounce, lose the handle, then out of bounds. Walter last to touch it. Talk about their state football championships, and what that tells me coming in here is a lot of the same kids, obviously. They know how to win in big situations. So this is, yes, a huge game, but it's not too big for them. I don't think they're letting the moment be too big for them.
Obviously different
They're going
sport,
to make good
they,
decisions.
They've played under the bright lights and know how to make those adjustments. And
Kerstead in the lane, floater, no good. Good defense by Luke Miller. Maybe a little forearm to forearm, but not enough to warrant the whistle.
That being said, at the end of the day, they're still high school kids and still got nerves at some point. So
foul at the other end.
Kerstad's foot maybe was out of bounds.
Yep.
I think he called him out.
Waltner will come out. Sorensen will come back in. Again, throughout the tournament and all these teams, it seems like the bench players are all about what you do with your minutes while you're out there. They don't all get a ton of minutes, but when they're out there, they seem to all be making a difference. Walter, little floater on the baseline. David Walter has 6. I barely have time to look down and get my score sheet from when Freeman scores, because Wall gets down the floor so fast. Again, they get down and they have 30 seconds or more on the shot clock. That's what's amazing to me. They don't walk the ball up the floor. And they play like their coach coaches. He's high energy. Ryan, last night we saw it. The takeaway, Hancock to Dinger, up and good.
And you can't ever, if you're Freeman, you just can't ever relax when you got the basketball either, because they're coming at you and they're going to continue to pressure.
Kerrigan lost the handle, still got it to the rim. Walter gets up to the rebound. Walter in the paint. Block shot. Dinger the other way. Back to Kerstead for three. No. Ripped out of there. Whistle blows. A little extracurricular. Thielen Kerstead will pick up his first personal. In will come younger Emiot. Out will go Emmett Dinger. To a little bit of applause, as he should. Gonna run the stack. Kerrigan goes up to get it. It's guarded by Jace Moore. Walter on the baseline. Up and in. Walter's such a high flyer. You got to get there. He's going to make electric things happen on the baseline.
Well, he showed a couple possessions before. He's got that floater too, so it just makes him hard to guard. Outside of being 6'5" and
pretty strong too. That call on Schultz. Nope, 22. Peters was the second personal. Jace Moore. Those free throws up and good. Back in comes Taylor Goodwin. Freeman. Scott Sonny and Lance Friesen having a conversation the whole time this free throw's been going on. Not real animated, but just it's conversation for sure. And Moore makes good on the second. I don't think Mr. Friesen got the answer he wanted.
Yeah. Shook his head and put his head down and shook it a couple times after every time Mr. Sonny gave him an answer.
Scott Sonny said no is an answer too. You asked, I answered. You're gonna call it. I thought that was an offensive hook. Walter may have gotten away with that. Yeah, so does Coach Kerstead.
I think that might have been just a slight after. I think there was a little bit of contact as David started going on a drive, and then he brought that hook around. So lucky they called the first one.
Coach Kerstead speed walking to the baseline. Walking away from Kemp. And another three for Taylor Goodwin. Moore will push it up the court on the dribble. That was more dribbles to get it across half court than all of them combined tonight, I think, for Wall. Backdoor, Kerstead lost it. We'll go to the media timeout. 4:54 to play. We're back in 60 on SDPB Sports.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
And we're ready to go out of the media timeout. Freeman basketball, length of the floor to go here with 4:54 to play. They get it into Walter. And Walter will bring it up against Hancock. That's a fun matchup right there, too.
Hancock did a really nice job last night. On-ball defense the whole night on Luthmers from DeSmit.
Luke Miller. Swing it left side, Goodwin. Goodwin now pick up the dribble. Miller Kerrigan, 3. In and out, no good. Rebound. Hancock. Wall will run. Moore. Big Euro step. Up off the glass with the left hand and good. Jace Moore has 4. Kerstead, who was hot in that first quarter, has 7. Hasn't scored in this second quarter. But Wall leads 27-26.
Hasn't gotten down the floor fast enough to get a chance.
Now he is. He's the lead run out. Left hand, little contact. Baseline off the glass and good. Josh Kent comes in with the whistle. Says basket is good. Foul is on Tayden Kerrigan. Kerstead did a really good job drawing the contact first, then going again and getting the foul.
Yeah, really gathering himself. And again, one of those plays we've talked about with some other players in the tournament this weekend that you absorb that contact a little bit, but still have the soft touch to get it off the glass for 2.
Shot up and good on the free throw for Kerstead. Our stat program that we get to follow along with gives us current trends, and in this one, it's usually a negative trend when it puts it up there. There hasn't been one yet because it's just constant back and forth with a basket.
They can't update it fast enough.
Carpal tunnel setting in for whoever's running the stats over there. Turnaround Miller, high arcer, no good. Walter rebound up, no good. Sorensen battles. Younger Amiot tips it away. Jace Moore will run. Another Euro step off the glass and good. And Jace Moore has kind of taken over here a couple of trips.
Good drive, a couple nice Euro steps, both directions for Jace on those last two drives of his were
Wall fans
impressive.
In the front row over there trying to mimic what he was doing. Guy in the gray hat. Sorry, that wasn't close to what he just did. It was a good effort, but that wasn't what he just did. David Walter with the rebound on the missed free throw this time. Freeman trailing by 6 now. Get it to Goodwin. Goodwin, swing it. Walter, hesitation dribble. Now he's on the baseline. Tipped. Dinger, fire it out. Kerstead on the run out. Chasing is Miller, and Kerstead can't get it to go.
Good job by Miller to just affect that enough to...
Ran right through it. Didn't try to block it. Just a hand on the flyby, but ran through it. Tayden Kerrigan with 2:40 to play will control. To Walter on the baseline. Left corner, throw it out high. Godwin. Sorensen, he'll pop the 3. Got it from the right wing. Tate Sorensen, first basket, and quickly the other way, Younger Amiot.
Oh, and then a turnover.
That would have been huge for Wall. Place would have erupted.
Wall fans would have, yeah. Just to give you a quick idea, too, Wall has taken already 28 shot attempts. Our previous game, Castlewood, 36 total for the game.
You said that would be 2 completely
Just
different games, right?
High possession game.
Yeah, Wall fans didn't like that call so much, but it wasn't a guarding position. Like, yes, he was there, but he was just running into people. Walter will come inbound at that foul, by the way, called on Trevor Schultz, his first personal. Inside Sorensen. Walter with the offensive rebound and the putback. 3-point play opportunity. David Walter with 6 in the quarter. Foul called on Younger Amiot. 3rd personal on Younger.
Bad luck for Sorensen on that little putback, but it worked out for Freeman with a Walter rebound, putback, and you draw the foul.
It was a great little setup on that play, though. They brought somebody out to the wing. I don't know if it was Kerrigan or who it was. Came to the wing, and then Sorensen stepped right behind him towards the basketball. set kind of a fake elevators or an elevator screen on the side a little bit, if you will. And let's just kind of slipped it and stepped straight toward the ball. Yes, something I'll go back and look at to think about stealing. Just saying. Kerstead goes down. Runner Moore, no good. Rebound. Sorensen and Freeman. I don't know how many times this year you think Freeman has had to be the team that slows the pace.
Yeah.
Not very often, I bet. 1:22 to play in the half. Foul on the play. Foul is called on Jace Moore.
You can tell both these teams too obviously have big guys and have post players that can do it, but they kind of play positionless basketball where in that instance, Freeman's two biggest guys are the ones out here setting the ball screen and roll 45 feet from the basket, and Peters is the one they're flashing through the paint on like a post touch.
And again, Peters only 5'11", but it's not like he's a small 5'11". I mean, obviously 5'11's 5'11", but he's put together strong shoulders and good rebound. Dinger way up high, ball out in front of him. Kerstead, jumper no good, batted around, tipped again. Sorensen comes away with it. Big strong hands by the future Dakota State Trojan tight end. Josh Anderson probably excited to watch this big fella out here on the basketball floor. Tatum Kerrigan in and out, no good. Batted around, and coming away with it is Sundahl. Moore on the right wing. About a half-second difference shot to game.
Kerrigan's had some good looks on the offensive end for Freeman. If you remember last night, he's the one that was hot from outside and kind of carried the load on the offensive end for Freeman last night. But
down the link, Kerstead bumped, lots of contact. It will play on. Sorensen now on the run out. Oh, little Euro by Sorensen. Oh, that just about went in. And Freeman will trail 34-33. We'll talk to Ryan Kerstead. That just about went down, Steve. That would have been incredible.
Great job by Schultz to get that off and give it a chance. That's why you tell your kids always there's no harm in letting it fly. So entertaining first half, up and down like we thought it was going to be, and which one of these teams can kind of go on a run to maybe make a little separation and here in the second half. But
Coach Kerstead grabbing a drink. We'll have a quick conversation. Good first half at the pace you want it?
Absolutely, yeah. Playing fast. I mean, we did some really nice things, obviously, in transition. A couple things that weren't perfect, but overall, I guess, got to be happy with a 1-point lead with the way things shook out there. So,
what are going to be the keys for you the second half as you talk at halftime to come out and take care of things?
I mean, obviously, Walters is a problem down low. They've hit number 15's hit a couple timely corner threes for him. I think Carrington hit one there late. So, yeah, we just got to get better at getting a hand up on the perimeter. They got shooters. So, overall, pretty happy with the way we played defense. Just got to come up with a few more stops and rebound the basketball. So,
appreciate the time, Coach. Go with your team. Coach Ryan Kerstead. We'll take a quick break. Then we'll come back and hand out some awards on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Back inside Walks Arena, time to hand out some awards. Turn it over to public address announcer, Mr. Kent Hans.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the center of Don Meyer Court. It is our honor to announce the recipient of the Larry Luchins Coach of Influence Award. The late Coach Luchins remains South Dakota's all-time leader in career victories and a true legend in high school athletics, but his legacy reached far beyond the court and into the lives of communities he touched. He will especially be remembered for fostering unity and meaningful relationships with his Native American friends, connections that led to the expansion of the Lakota Nation Invitational Tournament. The recipient of this award receives a handcrafted Native American medallion, similar to the one Coach Luchins proudly wore. This year's award is presented by his son Lance to Coach Mark Omdahl of the Wabash Summit Mustangs. Over the past 22 years, Coach Omdahl has compiled 380 wins while leading the Summit and Wabash Summit programs to remarkable success, including 3 state championships and numerous state tournament appearances. As evidenced by the number of players who've joined him at center court tonight, his influence lasts far longer than any trophy or banner ever will. Congratulations to Coach Omdahl, your Larry Luchins Coach of Influence. Our next award will be the John R. Wooden Legacy Coaching Award. John R. Wooden devoted his life to making an impact on the lives of others through the game of basketball. His passion was teaching, and he felt there was no group more passionate about that subject than coaches. This award was created to honor the 5 traits vital to success: education, longevity, character, service, and excellence. Today we recognize Mark Sefter as the recipient of this award, as presented by Brad DeBoer. Mark was a 1980 McLaughlin graduate, a respected South Dakota teacher and coach who impacted programs in Roscoe, Gregory, Timberlake, and Sully Buttes before his passing in 2022. He led Sully Buttes to 4 Class B girls state championships and multiple runner-up finishes, along with strong football seasons. A multiple-time Coach of the Year honoree, Mark was inducted into several Hall of Fames. He is remembered for his competitiveness, preparation, and the lasting relationships he built with players, coaches, and communities. Accepting this award on Mark's behalf is his wife, Lynn, and son, Scott. You can find Mark's complete bio in the basketball program. The NHSB BCA Wooden Legacy Coaching Award, a truly great man, Mark Sefter. Since 1983, the National Federation Officials Association has sponsored active officials awards for each state in all sports. The individuals receiving these awards have exemplified the highest standards of ethical conduct and moral character and have been given the endorsement of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. They have made significant contributions to high school officiating in South Dakota and are members of the NFOA. On behalf of the administrators, coaches, athletes, and the SCHSAA, we salute these people for their outstanding service and unselfish devotion. The winner of the 2026 South Dakota Basketball NFOA Award is Jeremy Michelson of Pierre. Jeremy has officiated basketball for 24 years across South Dakota and Minnesota, earning 10 state tournaments and 8 LNI assignments. He served as Region 9 coordinator since 2018 and represents officials on statewide advisory committees. Jeremy would like to thank his fellow officials and his wife Laura and their 3 children for their support. Jeremy's bio is in the program. Jeremy Michelson. The South Dakota Sports Officials Advisory Council is proud to present its 25-year officiating award, presented to recognize officials who have dedicated 25 years to the officiating profession. The South Dakota High School Activity Association is member schools. They say thank you to these officials for their 25 years of commitment. Presenting this award is Christine Stage, Associate Executive Director of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Tonight we recognize Jordan Opp. Jordan Opp is a 2002 graduate of Edmond Central and began officiating basketball while still in high school. He's worked regular season through SODAC 16 games and officiated the State B Girls Tournament in 2014 and 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Opp. Each year, the South Dakota High School Activities Association is proud to present its Distinguished Service Award to individuals who have made significant contributions to the furtherance of high school activities in our state. The recipients of this award exemplify the very highest ideals of service to both the association and youth. It is with the deepest gratitude that the South Dakota High School Activities Association Distinguished Service Award is presented this evening to 2 recipients, Trent Osborne and Marty Wisemantle. Trent Osborne is a longtime South Dakota educator who began his career in 1995 and is now in his 26th year as a teacher in Ipswich and coach and administrator. Over 31 years, he served on numerous SDHSAA committees and most recently on the board of directors. Trent thanks his wife Nicole and the community for their continued support. Trent Osborne. Marty Wisemantle, a Groton graduate, has been involved with the association for over 37 years as a basketball and football official. His career includes 17 state basketball tournaments and 5 state championship football games. He recently completed a term on the board of directors, serving as chairman, and continues to serve on the Groton School Board. Marty thanks his wife Amy and daughters Hattie and Eliana for their support. Marty Wisemantle. And finally, we direct your attention to center court one final time for the induction of a member of the Hall of Shrine. Presenting the award is Brad DeBoer. Paul Roush is a Castlewood native in his 40th season as a head boys basketball coach and ranks 3rd all-time in career wins with over 600 victories. He has led 12 teams to the state tournament, highlighted by a championship last year by Castlewood, and has also found success in football, winning the state title in 2015. A multiple-time winner of the Coach of the Year, Roush is only one of 4 in state history to win a title in both basketball and football. One of the legends of South Dakota coaching, Paul Roush, joined by his Castlewood team.
So there you have all the awards. We'll take one more break, come back, get you set and ready for our second half of our championship semifinal here on SDPB Sports.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Back inside Walks Arena, halftime shoot-around continues. Courtside, I'm Brad DeBeer. That was my twin cousin, Brad DeBoer, doing all the awards. Steve Erickson joins me. First half highlights and some stats.
Yeah, just a well-played first half by both teams. I think the tempo they both want to play, and we talked about that a lot. Wall 14 of 31 from the field, 45%. They're being led by Keelan Kerstad, 12 points. Dawson Hancock, one of those guys that does the dirty work and fills the stat sheet. He's got 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Emmett Dinger, 10 points for Wall, along with 4 rebounds. So I think Wall's playing how they want to and getting up and down. It's just going to try to, you heard it from Coach Kerstad, trying to find some ways to maybe slow down David Walter a little bit. On the other side, Freeman, 12 of 27 for 44%. They're being led right now. David Walter with 10 points and 8 rebounds. Tate Sorensen, 3 assists in that category. They're getting contributions. Sorensen with 5. Luke Peters and Taden Kerrigan both with 4 points. Kerrigan, 5 rebounds from that point guard position too. So it's going to come down to who can make a run and string together some stops on the defensive end. I think offensively these teams can score it, they can fill it up with the best of them in a hurry. So it's going to be who can stop or string some stops together. We always talk about 3 stops in a row as a kill. Get some kills and then try to get some scores on the other end to try to separate yourself here a little bit in the second half.
Well, and you heard Coach Kerstad talk about trying to find a way to slow down David Walter. He's causing them some problems, and you talked about it with his 10 points. So, again, be fun to see the adjustments made. We don't get a chance to talk to Coach Friesen there with all the awards, but I'm sure they're thinking, how do we slow this game down a little bit? That run out has really been an issue for them.
But one of the big things with both these teams is you can talk about slowing David Walter down or slowing Keelan Kerstad down. They got other guys out there that are very, very capable of going for 20 or plus a night too. So it's
Walter on the back door and a little foul from behind. Basket's good, and a foul was called on Dawson Hancock. That'll be his 3rd personal. And Walter with the 3-point play chance.
Freeman had that drawn up right out of the half to get Walter on a back screen action, and
misses the free throw. Last touch by Wall. So good start for Freeman if you're the Flyers. Everything's going the way you wanted it to start this half.
Walters misses the free throw, but there's that guy, Luke Peters, again, just making a hustle play and retaining a possession.
Kerrigan on the wing, double teamed there. Dinger will grab the carom, go the other direction.
To say one thing, Kerrigan just hasn't been able to shake free to get a shot off, and then he got that one. It looked good too, but just off front rim.
Kerstad, the triple from the left wing. 3 for Thielen.
Good shot by Kerstad, and he doesn't need much space, and he's got a quick release. And
Schultz will take it away, then chased down by Peters to take it back. No control. They wanted to travel. I don't know if he ever had the ball. Luke Miller, no good. Missed that bunny. Chased and saved, timeout. I think they're going to have it. Yep, Dinger grabbed control, then called the timeout. They'll take a 30. Wall will keep possession. 37-35. Yeah, you don't want to give up possession on something like that, although
it's one of those possession arrows years, and you're probably going to maybe kick yourself later for that.
Absolutely don't think about that, though, as the player laying on the floor trying to save it.
And you can't fault them, and that's the way both these teams play. It's all out, and you're going to try to save every possession you get.
Well, in the first quarter, both teams are about taking a quick timeout by this time in the game. So really, it's just the way to start the second half. They both have 3 to go, but right now Freeman still has 4 remaining. Music is popping. I think they upgraded the sound system here. I remember last year it was hard to hear once in a while. Not anymore.
Now it's hard to hear because it's too loud. Maybe I'm just too old. John Denver guy.
Jace Moore will control for Wall. Man-to-man being applied by the Flyers. The 1-4 set, they'll run a little double screen action at the free throw line on the elbow. Kerstead keeps the dribble. Dinger, long 3, right wing. Got it. Smooth. 23-foot three-pointers are nothing anymore. It doesn't even matter to high school kids.
You've heard a couple coaches talk about it, about getting in there and shooting from the white line. Here's the high school line. The maroon line is the college. Some of those coaches are talking about shooting in there, but it honestly, like you said, it's not that big of a deal.
Back-to-back deep threes by Wall. 1 by Kerstead, 1 by Dinger. 3 baskets in the second half have all been threes for Wall. And now they're back up 43-35, just like that. 2:16 scoring drought for Wall. No, for Freeman, rather. Sorensen off the glass. Foul on the drive, so it was well before he attacked the rim. Foul called on Kerstead. Team will pick up a second personal. Or they call that on Moore?
Yeah, I think
they did call it on Moore. His second also. Again, the tough spot sitting across from the table. You can't see their hands. They kind of block it sometimes. Baseline, Walter. Good possession up over Hancock. And Dawson Hancock has 3 fouls also, so good job by Freeman to go right at him with your top scorer as well.
Well, and you can see we talked about Coach Kerstad with how animated he gets on the sideline and how much energy he brings. You can see it with Thielen on the floor too. Knocking down that shot was huge.
Kick out, Sorensen, 3 on the left baseline, got it. Tate Sorensen with 8. Walter with the takeaway, behind the back, leave it up for Miller, one-on-one, good handle. Grabbed it, 2 hands, went up slow.
And Hancock couldn't really afford another foul, so he just kind of did a run by, but
46-45, next dead ball's immediate timeout. It's been a fast first 3 minutes, 4 minutes almost. Kerrigan with a big bruise on the back of his right arm. See that?
Yeah.
Man, oh man, that probably happened. I didn't notice that last night. Walter, just the body control, hanging, can't finish this time. Dinger to Moore, back to Dinger. No, I thought he was going to pull it. Taken away by Sorensen. He'll run out now. Numbers, Miller against. They're going to go charge with the drop of the shoulder. Player control foul, and Emmett Dinger gets back to get on it. We'll take the media timeout. And back with more. 3:48 to play in the third on STPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
And we are back out of the media timeout. 3:48 to play. Again, that foul called on number 20, Luke Miller. Miller picked up his first. You can see, again, I don't know if we saw it on TV, but or on our replay there as we went to break, but Ryan Kirstead meeting every one of those players off the floor, especially Emmett Dinger for hustling back, getting in position to at least get that charge called.
Yeah, great hustle, and those are the plays to celebrate too, because the Wall was just up, what, 9, 7?
Yep.
And Freeman right back, and big momentum shift with that.
I think the stats froze up on us. They're a little behind right now. Still at halftime the way it looks. That's
just can't keep up.
No. Yeah, I don't know if they froze up.
Mine are up.
Are they?
Yeah.
I might have to go out and come back in. It won't let me refresh. There we go. Peters has it taken away. Walter up top. Luke Miller. Swing it to Kerrigan. Under 10 on the shot clock now. Baseline. Walter with the jumper from 12. Quickly the other way. Again, no time to celebrate. Kirstead. Pull-up jumper. Well, my first question for Coach Kirstead there at half. Pace at what you want? Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he was just smiling from ear to ear.
And again, that's one where I think and they were last night too. They were, coach is pulling him back.
The minute that happened, Emmett Dinger turned to Coach Kirstead and said, "Get back."
Yeah,
He's still telling him
to get him back. But yeah, I was saying, I think if you would have told Coach Kirstead coming in, you're going to be in the semifinal night. You're ahead 1 last night against DeSmit at half. You're ahead 1 at half in the semifinals.
A 3 for Freeman and a turnover. Kerrigan, they're going to time out by Freeman. So just to save that possession as Freeman has gotten it back to 1 again. Talking about basketball being a game of runs. We're taking a quick timeout. We'll talk about that when we return on SDPB Sports.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
2:14 to play in our third quarter. Aaron Lockman having a mud bug festival back in Freeman as he's watching the games. Crawdad feed going on in Freeman. Tell me you're from South Dakota without telling me you live in South Dakota. Good stuff. Or is that Louisiana? I can never remember.
The weather's cooperating, so it feels the same.
That's right. That's a pile full of mud bugs for sure. Walter probably kicked that one out, but a little antsy. Emmett Dinger the other way, knocked out of bounds by Oliver Waltner on the hustle back.
His body's flying all over the place.
It's a tough layup to make as you see Waltner come flying through and knock that out of bounds right there. So once again, as always, great camera work. It's great. Our Bison High School students. Dinger for three, no. Rebound at Amiot. Kick out, Dinger three again. Yes! Not gonna miss that one too many times, twice in a row. 4 triples for Dinger. Waltner in the paint, no. Waltner battle for the rebound.
Good move, just kind of short-armed it on the shot.
Amiot to Schultz. Schultz will attack in the lane. The runner with the left hand is good. Trevor Schultz, first basket of the game. 53-47 now. 1:25 to play in the third quarter. We still got another quarter to finish up on this ball game. Walter in the paint. That's going to be a blocking foul. Oh, they call out a charge.
I think they got him. I think he got hit in the chops as Walter came across.
With the shoulder in the, that's a tough one. Either way you look at it, I mean, whichever way you call that one, that's a tough one there. Walter with the second. 53-47, 6-point lead. Kerstead way out high on the right wing. Peters is in there again. Or is that Miller? Yeah, Peters. Just always hands on the ball, you know, down underneath.
He's so strong too. You can't, once he gets a hand on the ball, there's not much you're doing with it other than tying it up.
Kerstead will trigger the inbound from the sideline all the way across the court. Dinger will go up high to get it. Kerstead stepped on the foot of Peters. Pass ahead, Kerrigan on the run out. 2 steps and a finish.
Good finish by Kerrigan. Good pass by Peters.
Kerstead three. Got it! Wow! Just as Freeman's celebrating a great run, here comes the Kerstead three in the corner. Right back at it with hands in the face. Look at Waltner. What do you do? What am I supposed to do?
Well, great run out by Freeman. You get the Kerrigan layup, and then you're not even back across half court, and he's...
I say to our kids a lot in big games, big-time players make big-time plays, right? Like when you need it, that's when they step up. And here it is. Look at the people who are making shots right now. Kerstead and Dinger for Wall. Just back-to-back-to-back big shots. And it's Walter for Freeman with 14 to lead the way. So the leading scorers for each of these teams are doing what they were expected to do. It's just that Wall can score so fast.
Well, Kerstead with 26 already, had 31 last night, so 26 with a quarter plus to go yet here for him. And 22 of 43 for Wall, 51% from the field, 9 of 17 from three, Wall. Freeman 6 of 13 from three, 19 of 41 from the field.
That is crazy.
That being seven points, that being said, Freeman, that's a couple possessions, and it's right back to even ball game.
Freeman will inbound. Oh, Coach Kerstead, the five.
He's fun to watch over there. He's got the.
I gotta ask him afterwards how many miles he puts on that watch. He's working overtime.
Yeah, put a count the steps.
Peters picks up the dribble. Kick out to Walter. David Walter. Swing it to Waltner. Now Peters will get it back. Under 10. Sorensen 3. Got it! Tate Sorensen 3. 11 on the game for Sorensen.
Big shot from him. Big answer.
Moore for 3.
Got it.
He got it at the buzzer. Chase Moore with the answer as the clock went zeros. Here's a look at it. Rattles one home. It's 59-52. We're back with more on STPB Sports.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Out of the quarter break, it's time to play for a spot in the state championship game for Class B. And the Barnett Center is rocking, man. People's heads are shaking.
Oh, nice play out of the break.
Kerrigan. Yeah, when you play a lot of pressure, that's a great
direction in the back door,
play.
yeah. Freeman into a 2-3 a little bit. Just gonna have to get those shooters covered up on the outside. Know where Kerstad's at, know where Dinger's at.
Well, they're gonna play that 2-3, but it's extended for sure. Moore will miss the driving runner. Sorensen will come away with it. Now Freeman with the chance to cut into that lead again. Luke Miller gives to Peters. Peters to David Walter. Walter, quick step.
Great
step
fake.
through.
Oh, wow.
Left it short.
That's a great move, just not finishing.
They got themselves on TV. Castlewood girls.
The Minions.
The Minions are working hard behind us.
That face-up move Walter did last time is a great move for him.
Tatum Kerrigan for 3. All of a sudden, Kerrigan's got 5 in the quarter. It's back to 2, 59-57.
Yeah, just trading blow for blow right here. It's like a boxing match, and it's just throwing the haymakers at each other.
Just about got another one to drop. Blocked by Walter. Look at the hustle. Oh, look out. Here comes Sorensen on the run out.
He's going to run somebody over.
Blocking foul. Just about got it to go.
Bodies.
He has got the Freeman fans ready to go.
Sorensen just about got that basket to go. That would have been a huge.
Somebody text Brian Geisher over there and tell him to calm down and check his blood pressure. He's getting fired up. His nephew's at the free throw line and he can't sit still. And everybody at Tomahawk Golf Course out in Deadwood is cheering on this Freeman team right now. I hope they're open in 2 weeks when we're out there for the AD conference, because we might have to pay old Geisha a visit at Tomahawk. Sorensen. Got them both to go.
Ties it up.
Wow. Blocked at the other end. It'll be Wall basketball. Look at this block. Kerstead leave it underneath. Walter swats it.
It's a block from the...
Yeah, but he jumps way higher than I did.
Your dad forgot to tell you could jump and block from the
Right,
back.
there's air under his feet. Takeaway by Sorensen. Wow, Tate having a... No, that's good.
It was good.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
And that was good.
Walter for three.
What a ball game.
Again, you have to have all 3 points across half court, and they weren't. Dinger with the answer at the other end. If you aren't enjoying this, I don't even know why you're here. This is fantastic. Tipped away. Wall, imagine that, they run. Moore goes it behind Dinger. Diving save and a timeout. Got it. Coach Friesen sprinting. Sorensen already called it. Everybody running in with a timeout. I think he's only got Foles left, doesn't he?
Yep.
They used both. Yeah, I believe they used both of their 30s. Oh, my. Just a reminder that SDPB covers high school sports like never before with our brand new show, Game Time. Jason Andera and Nate Weck deliver the headlines, game changers, and the top tilts each week. You can find Game Time on our YouTube channel, or at sdpb.org. Also on SDPB1 TV Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Central, 9 Mountain. Throughout this basketball season, they'll be back again next fall. Game Time also available as a podcast on Apple or Spotify. Like, subscribe, and give it a 5-star review today. It's Game Time with Nate and Jandry. Andera and Weck, they probably eat your heart out. You guys are missing out on this stuff, man. Don't say that. Nate's probably already mad at me because he's not here. So he didn't get a chance to hang out the laundromat. That's why.
Sioux Falls Lincoln, 53-48 over Harrisburg, so they're into the finals. Roosevelt up 9-8 on Huron in the first.
How about Class A?
Sioux Falls Christian, an 11-point win over Hamlin to get to the finals of the A, and West Central up 10-2 over Clark Willow Lake at the end of the first.
Sorensen, leave it to Kerrigan. No numbers. Just back it out. Tied at 62. Sorensen, dude, he's feeling it. I thought he was going to let that one fly. Walter, that first step to the lane, up and in. Boy, he's quick off the bounce, isn't he?
Well, his steps are a step and a half to everybody else. I mean, he just covers so much ground.
Dinger to Moore. Kerstead off the right side of the rim. Rebound. Kerrigan. Walter just a little pirouette there. Sorensen for three. No. Rebound. Taken out. Finally Dinger on the loose ball. Moore now. Dinger with 6 3-pointers for Emmett Dinger.
Just really like the way he plays. I mean, he knocks that shot down and just puts his head down and runs back to the other end to start guarding.
65-64.
And that one was deep. That was a step or two behind the college line, too.
Walter to Peters on the baseline. Peters way out high. Sorensen, lefty, three, short. No legs that time. Didn't kind of get into his shot.
Just got, yeah, I think. Credit defense from Wall on that one. I don't remember who it was guarding him, but kind of got up in his space a little bit.
Have we taken our media timeout? I don't even know. Okay, we'll get to that eventually. All those other timeouts in there.
There was that 5:08 when Coach Friesen called that timeout, and then it has been.
There's one. We'll throw up the red and get to our media if anybody sees us. See if Scott's sunny. And we got it. So we'll get to our immediate timeout. Back in 60 with 3:13 to play on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
And that is our final break, but each team has 2 timeouts. It's a 1-point game. Out of the media timeout, we are ready to go. 3:13 to play in a dandy in state championship semifinal action.
Keelan Kerstad 26 and Emmett Dinger 22 for Wall. David Walter 19, Tate Sorensen 13.
Kerrigan in the
Kerrigan 11 for Freeman.
Oh, step through left hand up and in for Taden Kerrigan. Take away by Peters, great read. Luke Peters, the senior with the layup is good.
He's another one you just like to watch. A kid plays with a lot of heart and flies around.
He doesn't stop.
No. Oh,
that was deep.
I thought that was in too. Luke Miller.
Gonna be a hold on Wall on the Luke Miller rebound. Freeman, 0 fouls this quarter.
There's 3 for Wall. It's been physical, but it's been clean.
They call that foul on Kerstead. 2 timeouts apiece. Possession arrow in favor of Wall. Walter here on the right wing with the basketball. Guarded by Amiot. They'll switch it up. Probably a better matchup for Wall anyway. Except Kerrigan's got the foul trouble. Walter will pick up the foul. Little push. Josh Kemp said, this is what the call was. Make sure everybody stop talking. Here's what it is. 2:13 to play. Walter picks up his 3rd personal. I wonder if you think Kemp gets that way on the golf course when like he misses a chip shot or something. He's mad at that chip shot for not going in.
Here comes the club throw.
That was great. Too strong. Kerstead and a foul on number 21.
You can see Wall
Trevor
now
Schultz.
too every time they miss a shot and Freeman goes and gets a defensive board, Wall's coming either a trap or coming to try to get a steal right away.
Yep.
So if you're Freeman and you do get those boards, you got to really protect it, chin the basketball and be strong with it.
David Walter now with the basketball way out high. Looking for a screen, doesn't get it. Down the lane, Walter blocked with a foul. We got to be Amiot, I would think. It is going to be whistled against Younger Amiot, his 4th personal. Walter free throw no good. He's mad at himself. Remains 1 possession. With a minute 40, there's like 27 possessions left in this game with these two teams. Walter will miss. Was 0 for 2 on that trip. He started out 4 for 4. Now he's 0 for 4 in his last 4 times at the line. For the tie, in and out, no good for Dinger. 1:25 to play. 3-point lead for Freeman. Body foul. Oh, gonna be a timeout. Trevor Schultz was like, wait, what? And then it was just a timeout, so no problem. We're gonna keep it here with 1:07 to play. Take a look at shooting percentages real quick. 25 of 57 for Wall, 12 of 26 from the free throw, or from the three-point line. 26 of 52 for Freeman, 9 of 18 from the three-point line. So what, 21 made three-pointers in this game between the two teams. 3 of 5 is all for Wall at the free throw line. 9 of 18 at the, 7 of 14 at the free throw line for Freeman. So, you know, more free throws, but
look, Wall, 1 of their last 7 from the field. They haven't scored for the last 2:38 of the ball game.
Yeah, well, for the last 5.
Some really good looks. Dinger had 2 threes. Kerstad had the 3. Both of them rim, down and out. So looks that they've been taking all game long, and it's not something that Coach Kerstad's going to tell them quit shooting it. Ones they are going to hope they can knock down here down the stretch.
Over the last 5 years or so that I've been fortunate enough to call this Class B tournament, I think we've had 2 or 3 games that have been at least 1, if not 2 or 3 overtime games in this round. So it almost feels that way right now.
Yeah, whether or not it's overtime, it definitely feels like it's going to come down to a last-second possession one way or another.
Peters picks up his 3rd personal. 68-65, 62 seconds remain in our championship semifinal number 2. As Jason Moore goes into double digits now with 10. The winner, we'll see Castlewood, the defending state champions. Great second half for Castlewood in the game prior to this one to run out to a big win. Now it's a 2-point game. Freeman going to try to take the air out of it a little bit here and just run some clock. Walter, Peters. Well, Peters decides to take the jumper. No good. Mistimed it, did Hancock. But Luke Miller did not.
What a rebound, and then great patience from Miller to get that shot back up, too.
Kerstead 3, stuck it. They're going to keep the basketball, though.
Yep,
a timeout.
Jump ball.
Yeah, timeout to Wall. It'll be jump ball, so alternate, or hell, whatever. Alternating possession arrow on that will go to Wall. And a full timeout regardless. The Eagles want to talk about it, so we'll come back out to Wall basketball under their own basket. Trailing by 4 with 30.3 seconds to play. Nobody in this gym happier than the shot clock operator right now. Because it's 30.3.
Yep.
And our Newbrook Games coach London, our elementary PE teacher, runs our shot clock, and she always gets mad at our shot clock keeper if they stop it with 35.2 or 3. And so she's happy watching this game right now. Oh man, we thought this would be a good one, but it's turned into a great one.
And you made the comment earlier too about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that's what you've seen throughout this one on both sides.
Luke Peters calling his team together at the free throw line as they came out of that timeout. Everybody wants to know, where's 5? Where's 5? Well, that's what Luke Peters is pointing it out. Know where 5 is. 5 and 0.
Don't forget about 0 either.
You bet. Step on the sideline. So they throw it to Kerstead. There, all came from out of bounds. Sure, right? There. Great camera work right there. Good work, fellas and ladies. That was awesome. Foul going to be whistled. Everybody's back except the free throw shooter now, David Walter, as Dinger was called for the foul.
Each team with 1 timeout left here too. Freeman still only at 2 team fouls.
25.5 seconds to play, a 4-point lead. Walter can make it to 6. Steps up and knocks that one down. Walter again. Oh, wow. Foul. We're going the other way. They're going to say foul on Peters, which, again, they've only got 2 team fouls.
Yeah.
Hurts nothing. And I don't know. He's calling it because he's at the legs, maybe. I just saw the end of it here. I was looking down at my stat sheet.
Wall tried to roll it on the inbound, and Peters came from about 30 feet away, just flying in there.
No, and if you make contacts on the leg, you know, they're going to call that. I think that's what happened. 22 seconds to play. Runner Kerstead got it. And a timeout, Wall. They'll take their final timeout. And we'll reset it for you. 19.6 seconds to play. Kerstead's got 28.
That's Wall's first field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. Just a cold stretch that kind of doomed them there.
Free throws for Freeman on any foul, which you're going to see Wall do, obviously, 72-68. Any jump ball or held ball will automatically be possession arrow to Freeman. So things are rolling the way of the Flyers.
Yeah, and if you're Wall, you're looking at Luke Peters is 0-2 from the line. David Walter 6 of 10. He'd missed 4 previous before knocking down those last 2. And Tate Sorensen is 2 of 2 from the line. So
only 3 people to shoot a free throw.
Kind of pick your poison on who you want to foul too if you don't get a steal.
Freeman will have 1 timeout remaining if they need it. So again, this is not a situation where Freeman's going to see what the defense does and then call another one. This is simply a matter of can they get it in. If they can't, you're going to see the quick ball. Freeman will hustle out. They will inbound. Luke Miller getting instructions from Scott Sonny, said you can run the baseline if you need to. Sorensen will come over here to half court in front of us. Screens.
Coach Friesen's telling Andrew Warner down here to not get too far away.
Yep.
He needed a timeout too. But
Peters with the inbound, the quick catch, or the quick foul, I should say, by Wall. That foul called on number 2, Jace Moore, his 4th personal. Peters got it.
Luke Peters 10 points on the night, but those plays he's made, the hustle plays and the game-winning plays that we call them.
Like that one, gets his own rebound on the miss. Yeah. They get it to Kerrigan, and he'll have free throws and a 5-point lead.
Nobody in the lane for Freeman, and the shooter gets the offensive rebound. That's hard.
Again,
Coach Friesen cracks a smile.
One of two keeps it. One of two will keep it a 2-possession game. 2 of 2, and it's 3 possessions. Just about that proverbial nail. Big one in. Taden Kerrigan. It's in a nice fourth quarter. Kerrigan with 14 in the game. 4 guys in double digits right now. Misses that one. 2 possessions. In and out, no good. Rebound Hancock. They'll get it inside. No timeouts remaining for Wall. Now it's over. They can stand there with it. They'll inbound, and the ball game's over. Freeman will play for a state championship tomorrow night against Castlewood. I'll go try to catch Coach Friesen. I got a little time because he wants to watch him put the sticker on.
Sounds good, as he should.
Was talking with Coach Friesen beforehand, and he said, "Is it okay if I watch the sticker if we win? I really enjoy that."
Well,
I said, "You bet
when
it
you're
is."
putting it in the winner's bracket in the championship game for tomorrow night, that's special to watch. So congratulations to Freeman on punching their ticket to the state finals, and what a great effort by both teams. Wall, tremendous effort by both teams. One of those games where you hate to see either one of those teams lose because of the effort they gave and how they both played. Either one would have been a worthy winner.
You can just feel the excitement down here. We're going to get a little one on camera here, I think, with Coach Friesen. He grabbed his young daughter from his wife. Lots of hugs and kisses over there. Celebrating his Freeman Flyer faithful. Unreal. What a game, Steve. That was incredible.
Yeah, and it was both teams. I think both teams had leads of 6 or 7, 8. I think Wall got up 8 or 9 at one point, and it was just punch and counter punch all night long. And, you know, kind of what you expect in a state semifinal of 2 really good basketball teams, and they went at each other. It was fun.
Coach Friesen joins us. Congratulations, Coach Friesen. What an effort by your guys. I mean, that's legendary basketball right there.
As they walk through the camera, oh man, Wall was awesome. And we answered the bell in the end of the third and the fourth there. It was incredible. Kid showed so much heart.
Shot after shot, 21 or 22 threes between the two teams, but it comes down to little plays. How about Luke Peters just making play after play? What a job by the senior.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of our culture. Those seniors and everybody contributes, but his work ethic's second to none, and he's just a fabulous kid.
Tate Sorensen hit some big shots, and then he's your cheerleader, gets the crowd into it. That's huge for a program.
Yeah, you need energy, right? You know, all great things are accomplished with enthusiasm, I was once told, and he's got a whole bunch of it.
Talk a little bit about Castlewood. I know you haven't looked at him a lot, but you know Castlewood. What a matchup that's going to be tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're going to have to rebound, that's for sure. There's some big dudes out there and well coached, so yeah, we'll have to figure out a plan and go play as hard as we can.
I think you need to go enjoy this one. Celebrate, Coach. Congratulations. Head coach Lance Friesen with the Freeman Flyers. He's out of here, man. It's like dead sprint. He's on the way to celebrate. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Here he is, ready. Welcome back to Walks Arena on the campus of Northern State University. You just saw semifinal night. Two great basketball games, two totally different styles, and you saw Castlewood punch their ticket for a second straight year to the finals, and you saw Freeman in that instant classic with Wall punch their ticket to the finals.
David Walter down inside, some second half highlights. Took me like 4 minutes to get through the crowd over here. That was incredible. And there's no way to get through the middle of the table, so I'm not jumping over. Look at the three-point shot barrage come. Kerstead. You had Dinger, you had Sorensen, but it was Luke Miller, it was Luke Peters with little things that really pushed it over the top too. I mean, every shot mattered. Possessions were huge.
It really was all game long, and well, you can talk about three-point shooting a little bit, but you pointed out two guys, the two Lukes, Miller and Peters. 10 points for Luke Peters, 4 points for Luke Miller. They were the third and fourth leading scorers for Freeman, but the plays they made on the defensive end of the floor, Luke Miller gets a great, I think it was an offensive board and a putback. Luke Peters flying, diving all over the floor. Those two just made, like we talked about and we kind of tracked, game-winning plays that don't show up in this stat sheet that we're looking at right now. But what a great effort by both teams, and Freeman tonight 4 points better.
I got stuck in the crowd there, but then it was because I was talking with one of the legends of Freeman High School sports, and Kent Mueller, a star back in '74 or whatever when they were in the state tournament, and Kent was talking about that same thing. He was just talking about the effort of the guys off the bench, and that you look at the scoring off the bench and that kind of stuff. That was a huge part of the win in the end. They got more production. They're a little deeper, offensively anyway, and that made a huge difference in the end.
And you point those out. There's three guys that I don't think even touched the floor. Maybe one. Oliver Waltner, I think, played a little bit in the second half. But Taylor Goodwin, 6 points, 2 huge threes in the first half. Tannen Auk, a huge three in the first half, and Waltner hit a 3 in the first half. So all four of those, or three of those guys with 4 3-pointers in the first half, and then they don't even play in the second half.
Right.
But they kept Freeman in it. They kept them around, and that's what it takes, is a complete team effort to move on to Saturday night.
We'll step away one more time, then come back and recap the day. Get you set up for Championship Saturday tomorrow in Walks Arena, right here at the Barnett Center on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. to ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
No. We out.
Back inside Walks Arena, I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. Wow is all I can say right now, man. What a night, what a day of hoops. Again, the Castlewood game got away tonight a little bit because they played so well that second half. But recapping the day, you take a look at how things got going this morning. Viborg Hurley and Aberdeen Christian, a 3-point game. Aberdeen Christian advances. Then a 7-point win for DeSmit, who had to come from behind. They go on a 21-4 point run to win it.
Sully Buttes led most of that game.
Almost the entire game.
Until the fourth.
And then tonight, it was a whale of a ball game in the first half of our first game tonight, Castlewood and Lyman. But that second half, again, Castlewood just came out and just locked down defense and timely shots.
Yeah, just kind of imposed their will and said, well, we're going to the championship, and got it done.
And then you get to that last game where Freeman and Wall, a 4-point game. I think 3 or 4 times Wall led by 9 or 10, and Freeman just willed themselves back in it each time. The last run, they were able to take the lead and then just got smart with the basketball, made shots when they needed to.
Yeah, they did what they needed to do, and not that Wall didn't, but Wall had that stretch of about 2.5 minutes towards the end of the fourth where shots just wouldn't fall for him. That let Freeman kind of get that 2 or 3 point lead and kind of ice it away there.
We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. is airtime as we start with our 7th and 8th place game. Viborg Hurley and Sully Buttes, followed by Aberdeen Christian DeSmit for a consolation championship. 3rd place game will be Lyman and Wall, and then Castlewood and Freeman for a state title at the Barnett Center. Catch our breath and then get out of here. A great job to our camera crew again. The high school students from Bison, all the guys and gals doing that. Guys in the back, we appreciate it. Levi, Christian, of course, Brian, and all you guys do. For Steve Erickson at the table, I'm Brad DeBeer. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.